Hey there, Lauren Wilson. See who else is here. Someone else is here. Make sure everything is working correctly. Okay, let's minimize this. And yeah, let's go again. So I can't remember what we were doing, actually. I completely forgot what we were doing. But we're gonna finish up what we were doing last time. We were trying to do the playthrough where we can get to the communications tower, but I don't remember exactly what we had to do to get to that. Hold on. Instagram. Oh, another one of those energy saving things, I guess tomorrow. Good, not today. Okay, let's see, that'll be 7 to 8 p.m. Just doing some other scheduling stuff. Of course, like, so today I took a nap. Hey, Nika. Today I took a nap for my first time in, like, at least over a month. I swear, I can't take naps. But I was just really tired today, and I'm like, well, I had an extra 2 hours where I normally don't have any time. Because I was able to finish the live stream early because the live stream is such a simple topic compared to what we normally do. So I finished the live stream really early, and I mean, it's still prepared completely. Like, you know, I have advanced notes and everything. But I'm like, oh, what do I want to do? And I was like hanging out downstairs, and I'm like, oh, let me just take a nap. So I tried to take a nap. I slept maybe an hour. So I'm still kind of like waking up. My brain's like, you know, half in sleep mode. Hey, Cheryl. Chris has class. Oh, that's too bad. And compared to Pa. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that one took, yeah, a lot longer to do. But of course, when you're trying to take a nap, like, you know, your phone gets a message, someone tries calling you, you know, get text message. So like, I just shut off the phone while I was sleeping. I'm glad I did, because I still got like 2 more messages while I was sleeping. Like, I don't normally get a lot of messages during the day, but when you're sleeping, that's when I'll get the messages that are like emails and text messages, which make my phone vibrate. Whereas like katok messages or something don't vibrate my phone, or like regular notifications don't, but just those do, emails do. So I shut it off, and yeah, I'm glad, because I kept getting emails while I was trying to sleep. So, okay. So we're gonna load back. Maybe driving. Yeah, I don't think you want to watch when you're driving.
밤에 산을 타는 건 정말 힘드네요.
So difficult to, yeah, I told you guys, I'm kind of still waking up. I'm like 70% awake right now, but like 30% of my brain is still like jello. Like, ooh, what's going on? I'm still sleeping. Like I didn't even know how to shut off the alarm when I woke up, because it was like right in the middle of my sleep. I didn't know where the sound was coming from or what I had to say to get it to stop. Anyway, hiking or going on the island at nighttime, you know, is really dangerous. Yeah, you guys should translate for me. That'd be helpful.
게다가 길도 아닌 곳으로 산을 타려고 하니까 더.
And then on top of that, I mean, this isn't even a place with a path. 길도 아닌 곳, a place that's not even a path. It's more difficult. Hey, Sarah.
아, 제기라.
Dang it.
아휴, 숨차라.
Oh. Nika, you do the main part and I'll do the... Oh yeah, I forgot the 마을 사람들. Catch my breath. Hold on. I want to see if there's a different translation for this. No, same thing. Yeah. 숨차다. Yeah, you got to catch your breath. You're out of breath. So.
아, 오빠.
Shh. Being quiet.
미안.
Be quiet.
아, 절대 깜깜한 숲이 무서워서 이러는 거 아니니까.
Sorry, I'm not like this because I'm afraid of like such a dark forest. It's just that it's really difficult to climb up, is what he's saying. I need to change my name here to SK. Oh yeah, that would be better. Then we could tell that it's the same one as the same user as the Discord. Although I know from your the Sarah Kim part, but yeah, whatever you guys want. I mean, whatever you want. See, my brain's not quite fully functioning yet. 절대 깜깜한 숲이 무서워서 이러는 거 아니니까.
착각하지 마.
Don't misunderstand, basically.
네,
Okay.
그리고 절대
I would never.
절대 아무한테 말 안 할게요.
I'm not gonna say this to anyone. I won't tell anyone. Like she's laughing at him like because she thinks that he's all like can't breathe and stuff because he's scared, and he's like, no, it's just really difficult climbing this mountain. I'm not scared. You ever see a beloved video game character in a different outfit? Hey, Karen. Yeah, I normally don't stream with any outfit for where's your coffee drink? I don't drink caffeine for these. This is just me. I mean, I wear a hat, so there's something, but can't wear a hat. I mean, I can't not wear a hat, right? But still a little different than when I do the one-to-ones because I wear my Billy outfit, my teaching outfit, the full thing. Yeah. Oh,
왜?
what?
저기에 있는 저 바위가 이 지도에 있는 망부석인 것 같은데?
I think that it's the what's that? What do you call that? The thing you see on a map. The thing you see that's like a location marker. Stone, mangbusok. Sok meaning stone. She's saying I think that the pawi, the stone over there is that thing that's on the map here. Let me search that up. What do you call that? Oh, it doesn't even have it. Just has the description of the story of why it's called Mangbusok. Mang meaning desire, like want. Bu meaning wife, and then sok meaning stone. Just stone statue. Anyway, basically the stone there, I think that's the stone marker. Like there's on a map. There's like a stone marker on a map. I'll find a better word for that later. Okay, let's keep going. Destination, yeah, not quite. It doesn't really have a good translation, but it's just like some sort of a stone statue marker.
사람같이 생긴 바위는 아닌데.
Oh, Nika, small typo for 이에요, for 편이에요. 사람같이 생긴 바위는 아닌데. Funny thing is that's like a native Korean speaker typo, is to write 이에요. Like only natives do that. It's not a stone that looks like a person though.
그러게, 그냥 보면 큰 바위로밖에 안 보인다.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If I just look at it, it just kind of looks like a big stone. That's what she's saying. 그러게, yeah. 그냥 보면, just look at it. 큰 바위로 밖에. Like normally this would be 큰 바위로 보인다. It looks like a big stone. But 큰 바위로 밖에 안 보인다. It only looks like.
아, 맞아. 혹시 우리에게 일이 생겨서 어쩔 수 없이 헤어지게 된다면
Oh, and by chance, if there's something happens to us and we get separated, 혹시 우리에게 일이 생겨서 something happens to us, 어쩔 수 없이, we can't do anything, 헤어지게 된다면,
저 바위에서 다시 모이는 거로 하자.
let's meet there at that stone again. So let's all meet back up at that stone. 저 바위에서 다시 모이는 걸로 하자. 모이는 거로. Yeah, they pronounce that. They pronounce this part as 걸로.
왜 하필 저 바위예요?
Why that? 하필 is emphatic when you're asking why or how or something like that. So like why? Just more emphatic version. So why that stone?
일단 지금까지 여기로 오면서 길도 없었고 사람의 흔적도 없었거든.
First of all, like while we were coming here, there's been no path and no people, no evidence of or trace of any people. 일단 first of all, 지금까지 여기로 오면서 while coming here, 길도 없었고 there wasn't even a road. 사람의 흔적도 없었거든. There wasn't even evidence or trace of a person or people.
지금 여길 보니까 마을 사람도 잘 모르거나 오지 않은 것 같아.
지금 여기 보니까 looking here now, the stone over here. 마을 사람도 잘 모르거나 오지 않은 것 같아. I think this is a place that he's not saying 마을 사람들. But if I translate this English, it would have to be village people. So I'm not sure what you want to do about this one. But yeah, in English translation, we village people. But in Korean, he's just saying 사람. So maybe a half sip of water. Is basically, I don't think this is a place that they either don't know about this place or they don't come here. So this might not be that special stone that's on the map, but at least it's a big enough stone that we can use as a marker.
그래도 이런 지도에 있는 곳인데 안 위험할까요?
그래도 이런 지도에 있는 곳인데 안 위험할까? But it's a place that's on this. It's on this map though. Like we have a map. It's just a regular map. It's on this map, is what he's saying. 안 위험할까? Wouldn't it be dangerous? Normally, when you're using 하다, you can only stick on before the part of the verb that's separated. So that would be before 하다. So you'd have to say 위험하지 않을까? Something like that. But a lot of times people just stick on in front of everything. In fact, give it another 10 years, and I think the majority of verbs today that you can't use on with might become okay to use on with, just because Koreans themselves don't really know how that works. But yeah, don't you think it would be dangerous?
이 지도 구석을 잘 보니까 한 10년쯤 전에 만들어진 거네.
이 지도의 구석을 잘 보니까 looking at this the corners of the map 한 10년쯤 전에 만들어진 거네. Looks like it's been made about 10 years ago. The on thing. Yeah. Yeah, though, it's anytime it can be separated, but like I said, actually, you know what? Sorry, I take that back. 위험하다 cannot be separated. So it's normal. I guess I was just thinking of the cases where people use it when it's not supposed to be. No, that's a case where you couldn't say 위험안하다 anyway, when I think about it. Because 위험하다, just to be dangerous, you can't 위험을 하다. That wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, there are some verbs, I guess if we go on a tangent here, there are some verbs though that they'll stick on when normally it would be a separate thing, like something 하다. Anytime it's like a 3-character word, like one character, not characters, so my brain's still waking up, one syllable and 하다. Those ones always, they just use an before it, or 지 않다 at the end. So like 통하다, 정하다, all of those things, there's a lot of them. All of those you can do an before them. Even though technically it's something 하다, it's never separated. Even though it could be, it never is. Like 정하다, to decide. 결정하다 can be separated. So you can't say 안 결정하다, but you could say 결정 안 하다. But 정하다 is the exact same meaning, but it doesn't get separated, even though it technically could. So they would say 안 정하다, 안 정했어, like I didn't decide yet, or something like that. And then, yeah, there's a few other cases where they'll just stick on in front of it. But yeah, sorry, that was not a case when it's not okay to do. That was an okay case. And pull up the sentence. Yeah, because there wouldn't be a way to say 위험안할까. That wouldn't make any sense anyway. So yeah, it has to be in the front.
이제 사람들에게도 잊혀진 장소가 아닐까?
요리하다. Yeah. Anytime it can be separated, you have to put the an before hada. But like I said, there are some exceptions, but that's like 99% of the cases. Is that anytime it can be separated, like you can use, I'll say this, you can use an before any verb. The problem is a lot of those something hadas are actually to do something. So something hada. So always before the verb itself. But if it can't be separated, then that's the verb, then you can use an before it. 이제 사람들에게도 잊혀진 장소가 아닐까? Don't you think maybe this is a spot that's been forgotten? 사람들에게도, even by the people? So don't you, then maybe this should be like a place that's forgotten. They talk a lot about like every little thing that they do. I'll say that. Be like, I want to go drink water. Wait, but if you go over to drink water, you might be exposed. But I'm really thirsty. Here, bring this cup. No, bring my cup. And it'll show up like the option, the question mark, who do you want to go with? Youngjo's like, I think my cup is going to be easier. You can carry a lot more. This cup is much smaller, so I can get the water faster. Like, I swear they do this for every little thing. Like, they've been talking about a rock. It's been like 20 sentences. They're still talking about this rock, I think. 라는 생각이 들어.
그래도 사람들이 있을 만한 건물 같은 곳보다는 좋겠네요.
Like, it's not important. They just say, like, hey, there's a rock over there. Should we meet over there? If we get lost, okay. But anyway, now it's like, it's not important. There's not going to be a scene of us meeting up at the rock. Really, it's like, it's not important to the game. So I don't get it. My cup's small. Yeah, if you pick the wrong cup, you die. I swear. That's my complaint about the game, I'll say, is that they nitpick everything that they do. Forever. 있을 만한 건물 같은 곳보다는 좋겠네요. But it should be better than some place where people would be. Since there's no one here.
알겠어요. 세아나, 여기 좌표를 GPS
Go
시계에
on, Phil.
저장해놓자.
That's just something I noticed about this game. It's funny. Sometimes it makes sense. Other times it's like, come on, just next. 알겠어요. Okay, I got it. 세안이 여기 좌표를 GPS 시계에 해놓자. So 세안, the coordinates 좌표, put them in the save them 저장하다 to save in the GPS watch. So save these coordinates in our GPS watch. Like we don't need these details, but okay.
잠깐만.
Just a second.
저장했어.
I saved it.
그럼 통신국으로 계속 갈까?
Yeah, this is what we need. Okay, let's keep going to the communications tower. Billy's book sometimes put in parentheses. Yes, that is why I do it. Specifically for that reason,
저기다.
I never teach like any verb without the parentheses because later on it'll bite you if you don't know which verbs you can separate and which ones you can't. But I did a really good summary of when you use it in my upcoming lesson I have about negative verbs, it's in my beginner series, which I think it's a pretty good lesson that you could watch even if you're not following the beginner course. And I give tips for exactly when you can use on. And yeah, anytime, and I also separate them in there too. So yeah, anytime that they're separated with parentheses, it means they're optional. It also means that's two pieces that are separate. And I think that's important to learn. That way you can know how to use it. Like if you learn 공부하다 as 공부하다, you might not learn, you could say 공부를 하다, 공부도 하다, 공부만, or, or stuff like that. Like a lot of verbs do that. 저기다, there it is. Communication tower,
저기
we
큰
found it.
안테나 밑에 건물도 있어요.
And there's a building also below that big antenna. 저기 큰 안테나 밑에 건물도 있어요.
역시
I knew it.
안테나만 우뚝 서 있는 게 아니었어요.
역시 안테나만 우뚝 서 있는 게 아니었어요. I knew that it wasn't just only an antenna by itself. Oops, why does this keep changing to the other dictionary? I don't want the other dictionary. Yeah. 우뚝 서다. Like lofty, tall, okay? To stand tall. I gotta write down something or else I'm not gonna get anything. In the beginning, when I first started playing this game, I think I wrote down like 30 or so words. You guys remember like the first hour and a half I played? I got like over 30 words, but then each time it's just less and less because I'm kind of getting used to the types of words that they use in this game, like around things around the island or things characters say. So now there's like I wrote down two things that I'm not 100% sure about. Like I told you, 만부석, which I knew was like some marking stone, but I didn't know what exactly. And then 우뚝, which I knew was just kind of like up, but now I know it's like standing tall. Like, yeah, not as many as the Coma game. That's true. I used to write like 60 in a 2-hour period from the Coma games because we got like
정말 다행이다.
all the different characters' styles of talking, like the shamanistic terms, the Catholic terms, the ghost hunting terms, and all that stuff. Oh, it's so glad. I'm so fortunate.
그래, 정말 담비 말대로 건물이 있어.
Yes, just like you said, 담비 말대로 건물이 있어. There's a building.
어서 들어가 보자.
Let's go in. Let's hurry up and go in. I'm scared to look at the Coma game. The Coma game was fun. That's still my favorite game of all the
잠시만요.
ones we've done here.
혹시
Wait up.
안에 누가 있으면 어떡하죠?
See, look. 혹시 안에 누가 있으면 어떻게 하죠? Why didn't you think of this before? Like, well, see, they just need to drag it out because The guy drew this. The guy spent, or girl spent hours of their day, at least 2 hours, drawing this background in a pirated version of Photoshop. They need to put a lot of dialogue in it so they can get their mileage out of it. But what if there's someone inside? What are we gonna do?
정말이네.
It is. I mean, you're right. What if there is?
역시 우리가 한 번에 덮쳐서 제압을 한.
Oh, hold on. Tap. Is that like some sort of attacking? Hold on. Yeah. Gain control. Okay. 역시 우리가 한 번에 덮쳐서 제압을 we should just go in at once, like all at the same time, go in together, and we can control it. But what's he gonna say?
저길 봐봐요. 입구가 자물쇠로 밖에서 잠겨 있잖아요.
저길 봐봐요. Look over there. 입구가, the entrance, 자물쇠로 밖에서 잠겨 있잖아요. It's locked on the outside, the entrance, with 자물쇠, with a lock, like a padlock.
정말이네.
You're right.
그럼 어떻게 들어가죠?
Then how do we go in?
자물쇠가 걸려 있잖아요.
It's got a lock on it.
열쇠가 없으니.
We don't have a key.
아, 아까 그 열쇠.
Oh, that key from before.
그 열쇠가 여기에 맞을지도 몰라요.
That key, maybe that key will fit in here. Okay, they just want me to use the key. I don't think it will, but
열쇠 구멍을 보면 안 맞을 것 같은데.
if I look at the keyhole, 안 맞을 것 같은데. I don't think it'll fit. 맞다.
정말이네.
You're
구멍에
right.
들어가지도 않아요.
I think this key is for something else. Something else very important. Not the outside padlock to get in here. You're right. 구멍에 들어가지도 않아요. It doesn't even fit in the keyhole. In the hole.
그러면 이제 어떻게 하죠?
And what do we do now? Yeah, I know. They're like, do a 탐색 here and you literally can do nothing. But yeah, I gotta get that art.
문을 열을 만한 방법을 찾아야지.
We gotta find a way to open the door. 문을 열을 만한. So that would be able to open the door. 방법을 찾아야지.
아, 당연한 소리를.
Oh, that's so obvious. Of course we do. Okay, now we can do something else. Okay, I got an idea. We got the crowbar.
오빠, 아까 챙겨온 빠루를 사용하면 어떨까요?
How about the crowbar, 빠루, that you brought before? 챙겨온 빠루를 사용하면 어떨까?
그렇지.
You're right.
이런 때를 대비해서 이 몸이 빠루를 챙겨온 게 아니었겠냐는 말씀이야.
You know, that's the reason why I've carried around this crowbar just for this kind of thing. 이럴 때를 대비해서 preparing for this kind of moment. 몸이, my body, I did. 빠루를 챙겨온 게 아니었냐는 말씀이야. I'm saying, hey, wasn't I carrying it around just for this situation? Billy's Korean. Would a native think? I mean, they wouldn't think I'm from Korea because I'm not. I'm not Korean, but I don't have a specific dialect. I would just sound like anyone else. Like, definitely not Busan. Yeah.
금방 분명히 놀라는 표정이었지?
And even when I was living in Busan, I wouldn't have sounded like a Busan person because I purposely wasn't. You have to go out of your way to learn Busan dialect in Busan because people don't speak Busan dialect. Even when I was there 15 years ago, people speak normally, and it's kind of like people you'll hear someone, oh yeah, I'm from this part of Korea, I'm from Busan, I'm from wherever. It doesn't mean you speak the dialect. You will if like your grandparents raised you, like you often visited your grandparents, then you'd probably learn some of it. But using it with your friends, it's not going to be so much. It could be like a little bit of a different intonation, and it depends on the person. But it'll just be kind of like a little bit of a different intonation. It's not going to be like, wow, that person has such thick Busan dialect, I can't understand them. It's more like, oh, that person has Busan dialect. Oh, it sounds fun. Like, that's it. You can still understand them because just like the really thick stuff is disappearing. 금방 분명히 놀라는 표정이었지? Oh wait, I think I skipped something. Oh yeah, I'm sure you looked shocked just a moment ago. 금방 분명히 놀라는 표정이었지? That's what she said. Because he's like, oh, that's why I brought this. Ha ha ha, of course. Okay, now Seihan's gonna say, but what if we use the crowbar and it breaks and then someone catches us? And then it's gonna be like, time for another Time for another 탐색 or 탐색 시간 or whatever like that.
자기가 챙겨온 걸 잊고 있었던 거야.
자기가 챙겨온 걸 잊고 있었던 거야. You were forgetting what you had brought yourself. 자기가 챙겨온 걸 잊고 있었던 거야. You were forgetting something you had brought yourself. Yeah.
문만 열면 되잖아.
You did 2 or 3. That doesn't mean I speak the dialects though. Like that's just a lot of research that I put into those videos. And a lot of practice. In fact, my Jeju one, I even contacted they have an official Jeju language research center in Jeju. And I contacted them and sent them my entire script of Korean. I sent them all of the stuff I had researched myself that I'd written down. Like I did my best job to research, and I sent them that like this equals this, and I sent it to them and told them I'm making a video, and they replied with a lot of correction. They're like, oh, some of it was perfect. You know, they're like, this is correct. Other ones they'd change the spelling, and some ones they'd rewrite the whole sentence. They'd say like, oh, they actually don't say this. This is just a stereotype. Say this instead. So yeah, it's just a lot of research that goes into that. 문만 열면 되잖아. Well, you know, whatever if we open the door, who cares?
간다.
Yeah, 탐색. That's why I read what you read, 탐색. I'm like, whatever, 탐색. 탐색 it is. It's a 탐색 now. 탐색 time. All right, let's go.
자물쇠는 부서졌는데 빠루가 같이 두 동강이 났네.
Oh, wow, convenient. So the lock's broken, but then so is the crowbar. 동강, I believe, is going to be like separate, pieces. 두 동강. So the bar broke in half. Yeah. 더 조심히 입력할게요. Yeah, it's fine. Nobody's judging.
그거 분명히 쇠로 만든 건데 그걸 어떻게 두 동강 냈어요?
How did you break it in two? I'm sure that thing's made of 쇠, like steel. I think, yeah. Steel, right? Well, it's a metal. No, iron. Okay, I was close. One or the other. I'm sure that thing's made of 쇠 is also what you just call metal. But anyway, 쇠로 만든 건데 it's made of iron. 그걸 어떻게 that's confusing. 두 동강 냈어요? How'd you break it in two?
창고 안에 오래 있어서 녹이 쓴 게 아닐까?
Maybe it got rusty being inside the storage area. 창고 안에 오래 있어서 for a long time. 녹이 쓰다. 녹이 쓸다. Actually, it's 녹이 쓸다. 녹슬다. 녹이 쓸다 is to get rusty. But past tense, 쓴. 녹이 쓴 게 아닐까?
문은 열었는데
You
그
opened the
덕에
door,
빠르는
but-
쓸모가 없게 됐네요.
그 덕에 빠루는 쓸모가 없게 됐네요. But now the 빠루, now the crowbar has become worthless. You open the door, but now the crowbar is useless.
뭐 어때? 문만 열었으면 됐지.
Yeah, 금세, 은, gold, iron, silver, bronze, 등. 동, I think you mean? 등 would be like your back, or a few other things. Yeah, 동 is also used for, unless 동 is copper. No, I think 동 is bronze, yeah. I love Naver Dictionary sometimes. You'll search a word, and it'll have an English translation for it. And I search Tong, and the first thing that comes up is the word Tong for like or an area, like a province, not a province, a specific district of an area. So it's like, you know, the different sections of the city you live in, and it's used for like postal service and stuff. And it had that Hanja there, and the definition in English is just Dong, D-O-N-G. I'm like, wow, super helpful there, neighbor. Yeah, 동네동.
자자, 어서들.
Let's go in.
어?
What?
세연아, 저길 봐.
Look over there.
굉장한 불길이야.
Yeah, not dong, but you know, in English, D-O-N-G. Yeah. I was like, Brugir means fire, but there's no fire. I was like, what do you... Is this right? Is this a different word? Brugir. Like, yeah, it is. So, okay, they just didn't draw it.
정말이네요.
Yeah, it's right, yeah.
잠깐.
Hold on.
이렇게 불구경이나 할 때가 아니에요.
Now's not the time to just be looking at the fire. So, it's on fire, I guess, somehow. East sounds like poop. Tong, tong. If you're not adding stress to it, tong. Don't say it like loud, just say it soft. Tong, tong, tong. Tong, dong, tong, tong. It should sound like it's almost a T or a D. It shouldn't sound like a dong, and it shouldn't sound like tong, tong, tong. But if you don't want to say it as dong, dong, dong. That's why I recommend you can hold your hand in front of your mouth. Tong, tong, dong, dong. And you can judge how much air do you feel, and then the dong will be much less than tong. So if you say tong tong, you'll feel a lot of air, and if you say dong dong, you'll only feel a little bit. So you don't need to use a tissue paper, but you can just use your hand.
어서 들어가서 확인해 보죠.
No, it's inside. I thought it was behind them, but no, I guess it's inside, which is why I was like so confused. I'm like, there's no fire in this picture anywhere. Hurry up and go inside and check. 들어가서 확인해 보죠.
들어가자.
Let's go in.
무슨 먼지가...
That's coughing sound. Or maybe it was outside. Let's see. It's like, what are you talking about? I have no idea. Hold your breath. Tong, 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 tong. I don't think it has to do with holding your breath. Unless that works for you, then yeah. There's so much, it's like so much dust. 먼지 is the dust. Yeah, it's just the dust that's floating around everywhere. I'll give you a fun fact. All dust is not dirt. There is dirt. You can get dirt if, you know, like there's like a dust storm or something like that. But and if something's outside in the dirt, you can get dirt that blows around. But inside your house, all of the dust is just the dead skin cells floating around that land on surfaces. That's why you don't find it as much on high places. It's usually on lower places. Anyway.
세연아,
Today's gross fact.
바닥에 있는 상자 조심해서 들어와.
Careful of the boxes on the ground when you come in. 세연아, 바닥에 있는 상자 조심해서 들어와.
우와, 기계들이 잔뜩 있네요.
Oh, there's so many machines here. 기계들이 잔뜩 있네요. It's like everywhere, 잔뜩. Good floating dead skin. I think most people knew this, but I didn't know it until maybe like 5 years ago. So that's why it's a special fact to me. You guys are probably like, Billy, we know.
온통 컴퓨터랑 계기판 표시등이네.
컴퓨터랑 계기판 표시등이네. It's like 표시등. These lights here. 표시 is like marking something to show something. So like signal lights, kind of. Hold on. Oops, spelled it wrong. That probably would help. There you go. Pilot lamp. Standby lamp. Status light. Status light. Kind of like that. 온통. It's all. Just computers. 컴퓨터랑 계기판. Like, these things. These things are 계기판. Like control panels, kind of like that. I just learned dust. Nice. Lots of embarrassing mistakes. Pollution. kind of dust that yeah, that's 미세먼지. That's fine dust or whatever they'd call it, the microscopic ultrafine dust. That's what they wear masks for. There's also 황사, which is yellow sand, which blows in from deserts. I believe it's like from the China deserts. And that's also a thing.
이거 뭐가 뭔지 알려면 시간 좀 걸리겠는데요?
It's going to take some time for us to figure out what the problem, what anything is here, because it's all covered in dust. It's all like dirty and stuff. So it's going to take some time for us to figure out what everything here is. 이거 뭐가 뭔지 알려면, if we want to know, 알려면, 알다. 시간 좀 걸리겠는데요. It's going to take some time.
난 기계는 자신 없어.
I don't have any confidence in machines. Basically, I don't know how any of this is working. Yeah, 기계판. So it's just 기계 plus 판.
그러면 담비는 망을 보고 있어. 우리가
So
한번
like, what would that be?
둘러볼게.
Dashboard? Maybe dashboard? Control panel? Whatever that kind of thing is. Yeah. 그럼 담비는 망을 보고 있어. Then you keep watch. 망을 보다. 우리가 한번 둘러볼게. We'll take a look around.
알겠어요.
Okay.
망 보는 건 나한테 맡겨줘요.
Okay. Leave the watch to me. I'll watch everything. You know, I'll keep watch for us. Leave that to me.
좋아. 세연아, 공대생의 힘을 보여주자.
공대생. I believe that's the student of the engineering student. So 공대생의 힘을 보여주자. Let's show them the strength of an engineering student. I have to check this though. I'm not confident in this translation. Engineering student. Okay, I was right. Cool. I just guessed.
네.
All right. I guess that's Seihan. He was an engineering student. I don't remember his backstory.
케이블이다.
Cables.
이렇게 두꺼운 케이블은 처음 봐.
It's my first time seeing these cables this thick.
이 사이에 버튼이 있네.
There's a button here,
눌러봐도 아무런 반응이 없어.
but it doesn't do anything when I push it. Literally, there is no response, even if I push it.
오른편에서 조작할 수 있는 건 이 레버들 뿐이야.
The only thing I can control on the right side are these levers.
막 바꿔봐도 아무런 반응이 없어.
But even if I just switch them, there's no reply, there's no response, or they just don't work. So let's try this lever.
레버가
There's a
있는데
lever.
여기에 뭐라고 적혀 있었는데
Something was
다
written here,
지워져서 뭔지 하나도
but
모르겠네.
it all got erased, so I can't see what it is at all.
움직여봐도 아무것도 변하는 게 없어.
Nothing changes even if I move it. Okay, we got to figure this out.
이건 초록색 표시등인가?
This is a green 표시등, like the status light.
실내 통신이라고 적혀 있어.
It says 실내 통신. It says indoor communications.
하지만 이건 표시등이라서 이걸 켜지게 해야 하는데.
But this is it's a status light. We have to turn it on. So it's not going to work unless we get that on. Okay, what else can I do here?
위아래로 움직이는 버튼이야.
Buttons that move up and down.
아무런 반응이 없네.
There's no.
아직이에요?
Still doing it?
야, 이거 너무 많아서 뭐가 뭔지도 아직 다 못 봤어.
We couldn't even see yet what everything is because there's so many.
저기에 실내 통신이라고 적힌 표시등이 있는데
Yeah, there's a light over there that would say 실내 통신. So like communications internal with like internal communications or whatever.
저게 켜지면 통신이 될 것 같은데
If we
뭘
can
해도 안
turn that
켜져.
on, I think that the communications will work, but it doesn't turn on no matter what we do. 뭘 해도.
여기에 있는 버튼들을 만져봐도 아무런 반응이 없어.
만지다, like I said, is touch, but they use that to mean play with. Like even if I play with the buttons here, 아무런 반응이 없어. It doesn't do anything. You also would say 핸드폰 만지다. Literally touch your phone. That's how they say play with your phone or use your phone.
이런 경우에는 모든 것을 일일이 다 확인하지 말고 저기
In this kind of situation, you don't need to check every single thing one at a time. Just over there, look over there.
저기는 먼지가 다른 곳보다 비교적 덜 쌓여 있잖아요.
Over there, the dust is 비교적, relatively 덜 쌓여 있잖아요. It has less dust built on it relative to the other places.
항상 그런 것부터 먼저 확인해야죠.
You have to check that kind of place first.
당연히 저쪽은 내가 확
Of course, I was gonna.
아니 잠깐만.
Wait, hold on.
여기 통신 권한이라고 영어로 적혀 있어요.
Here, in this says 통신 권한, so that would be the telecommunications 권한. I think that would be like authority. Yeah, authority. 이라고 영어로 적혀 있어요. It says in English here.
뭐? 아까 내가 봤을 때는 못 봤는데.
I couldn't see that when I looked before.
으이구, 빨리 저것부터
Hurry up
확인해봐요.
and check that first.
세연아, 그거 지금 무슨 상태로 되어 있냐?
What is that state? What state is it in right now? It's like what position is it in right now?
어웨이 상태로 레버가 가 있어요.
The lever is in the away state.
그 레버 반대편에는 뭐라고 적혀 있어?
What does it say on the 반대편, the other side of that lever?
홈이요.
Home.
지금 당장 그거 홈으로 바꿔봐.
Turn that right away. Turn that to home.
네.
오, 모니터에 뭔가 막 출력되기 시작했어.
Sushi Island System 4.0 Release 6.0 Superwave Studio. That's the name of the game company. BIOS version 2.0 Gateway Soul 7765 System ID Build time Desktop RYI7. I don't even know what this is. 512K Extend RAM Cache. Okay. 오, 모니터에 뭔가 막 출력되기 시작했어. 출력 is basically displaying. So something's now being output. It's actually output, but you would just say being displayed on the monitor. Something's just suddenly something started being displayed on the monitor.
이제 버튼을 누르면 여기 작은 표시등들이 켜졌다 꺼졌다 하면서 반응해요.
Now, if I push the buttons, 버튼을 누르면 여기 작은 표시등들이 I'll say that again. 표시등들이 yes, now we got it. The small little 표시등들이 lights 켜졌다 꺼졌다 하면서 반응해요. They turn on and off and they react. Playing video games? Yeah, actually I had a friend when I was a teenager, one of my older brother's friends said he learned English. He grew up kind of like far he wasn't in like a big city, like a really small city, kind of in the middle, like in their own house in like a trailer kind of thing. And he said he learned English from playing Final Fantasy 3. Like that was one of his first exposures to reading English. So yeah, I think
정말이네.
you're right.
저기에 있는 실내 통신이라는 표시등에 불이 들어오게 해야 할 텐데.
I have to make it so that the sign there says 실내 통신.
그런데 뭘 눌러도 저 표시등은 안 켜지잖아.
But no matter what you push 눌러도 저 표시등은 안 켜지잖아. That doesn't turn on.
혹시 이 작은 표시등이 다 켜져야지 들어오는 게 아닐까요?
Do you think by chance that we have to get these small 표시등, these small status lights on in order to 들어오는 게 아닐까요? So that we can get this one big one to work. Seriously, 담비, you're right.
표시등들이 통신이랑 연관된 것들이라면 그럴 수도.
표시등들이 통신이랑 연관된 것들이라면 그럴 수도. I need to slow down. Anyway, yeah, if they are connected with the communications, then it could be.
다른 표시등은 어떤 역할인지 글자가 안 보여서 알 수 없지만 한번 해보자.
다른 표시등은 the other lights. I'll just call them lights. I'll just call them lights, little lights. 다른 표시등은 어떤 역할인지, no matter what role they do, what purpose they serve. 글자가 안 보여서 I can't see the writing on them. 알 수 없지만, so I can't know. But 한번 해보자. Let's try it. Okay, now time for 탐색 시작. I know it's not 탐색 시간, but it's fun to say 탐색 시간.
다시 확인 안 해봐도 될 것 같. 다시 확인 안 해봐도.
There's got to be something else I can push.
실내 통신 표시등이 켜졌어.
Got him. This isn't an advanced yeah, this is advanced top content though, I think, for the most part. Because yeah, They're speaking totally normal Korean. This game was made for Korean people. Total elite 1337 Hacksaw right here. Oh man, you see that? See that crazy? You got the hacker known as Anonymous right here.
세연이가 해냈어.
You did it, Sehan.
그런데 핸드폰 안테나는 아직도 안 터지는데?
But the cell phone antenna, we still don't get any signal yet on our cell phones. Basically, we don't have any cell phone bars.
이게 아닌 거 아니야?
Maybe this isn't it.
그럴지도.
Might be.
일단 불은 들어왔으니까 다른 게 다시 작동될지도 몰라.
일단 불은 들어왔으니까 since the light's on now, 다른 게 다시 작동될지도 몰라. Maybe other things will work again now. We actually don't know what it is that we turned on here.
그러면 다른 것들도 한번 건드려.
Then let's mess with the other things, some other things too.
터져요.
We got it. A signal. 터진다. Now we get it. So 터지다 would be to get the signal.
밖에서 터져요. 이 방 안에서 안 되는 거였어요.
밖에선 터져요. I can get it a signal outside. 이 방 안에서 안 되는 거였어요. 안 되는 거였어요. It didn't work inside this room though.
확실해?
You sure?
나도 확인해보고 올게.
I'm gonna go check too.
확실해요.
I'm sure.
담비야,
담비.
어?
네가 아니었으면 우린 여기서 계속 시간 낭비할 뻔했어.
If it weren't for you, 네가 아니었으면 우리는 여기서 계속 시간 낭비할 뻔했어. We would have just kept wasting our time. We would have just wasted time here.
고마워.
Thanks.
뭐야?
What are you saying?
그렇게 칭찬해줘도 아무것도 안 나오거든?
You don't get anything if you compliment me like that. Even if you compliment me, you're not getting anything. Like no present or anything. Or nothing good comes to you, basically. There's no benefit. Maybe that's a good translation. There's no benefit to you complimenting me like that. Whatever.
된다 돼.
It works.
어서 빨리 구조 요청부터 하자고요.
Let's hurry up and request help.
좋아. 일단 여기는 이 상태로 두고 나가서 구조 요청을 해보자.
좋아. 일단 여기는 이 상태로 두고 we'll leave it in this state as it is. 나가서 and go out. 구조 요청을 해보자. And let's try to call for help.
좋아. 밖에선 확실히 신호가 잡히네.
Yeah, definitely. Out from outside, I'm sure. 확실히, definitely. 신호가 잡히네. I get a signal.
그럼 어서 구조 요청부터 해봐요.
Then hurry up and let's call for help.
112부터.
112 is the police. 119 is the emergency. Yeah, in the U.S. you can just call 911 for everything, and they'll route you to the police. But in Korea, it's more separate. There's another common number I can't think about they use in Korea. But anyway, 119, 112 are the most important.
신호가 안 가.
Oh. 신호가 안 가. Literally, the signal doesn't go, but it's more like it doesn't connect. There's no signal.
역시 또 섬 안에서만 연락이 되는 건가?
역시 또 섬 안에서만 연락이 되는 건가? I knew it. Does this mean that 섬 안에서만, only within the island, 연락이 되는 건가? We can only contact within the island, which it does, probably.
그러면 애들한테 전화.
Then call the others.
잠깐!
Wait, hold on.
지금 애들이 무슨 상황일지 모르는데 바로 전화를 해요.
지금 애들이 무슨 상황일지 모르는데 we don't know what situation they're going to be in. 바로 전화를 해요. How would we just call them?
정말이네.
Oh, you're right. He said 정말이네 4 times.
문자로 해요, 문자.
Text them. Text.
그건 그렇고 어디서 모이자고 하지?
Okay, so putting that aside, 그건 그렇고 어디서 모이자고 하지? Where do we tell them to meet at?
아까 지나온 망부석이요?
Yeah, of course. 아까 지나온, the place where we passed by, 망부석, that stone.
거긴 숲이 우거져 있는 데다 막상 찾아와도 망부석인지도 모를 거예요.
우거지다, like I think it's dense. Yeah. Dense. Densely. Sometimes you'll understand stuff even if you don't really know what it means, just because you know the context, which helps. Basically, she's saying over there the the forest is really thick and dense. So if they actually 찾아와도, if they actually come there, 망부석인지도 모를 거야. They're not even gonna know that it's that stone. 정말이네. Yeah, it's like it literally, really, but it's more of a way to say like 정말이네요, or like, oh, you're right, like, oh, it is like that.
우리도 지도가 있어서 겨우 알아봤는데 다른 애들은 못 찾을 거라고요.
우리도 지도가 있어서 겨우 알아봤는데 we barely recognized it, we barely found it because we had a map. 다른 애들은 못 찾을 거라고요, but the others won't be able to find it.
그럼 망부석은 안 될 것 같고.
Then anyway, can we just text them and just say, hey, like, sup? Like, why do we have to, let's text them something so they know we're alive and we could try, and maybe they have an idea. I don't think that stone's gonna work.
어디 좋은 곳 없나?
Is there no place
마을
good?
사람들은 잘 안 오거나 모르는 곳.
A place that the village people 잘 안 오거나, that they don't come to often, or 모르는 곳, place they don't know.
아,
뭐야?
What?
아까 이장집에서 사당 철거 예정 보고라는 메모를 봤는데
I was studying 겨우. Yeah. You could just stick it on your sentence. Pretty easy to use. Hold on. Yeah. 사당 철거. That's the this is like from way earlier in the game, when we were at the guy's house. 사당 철거 is like, 사당 is like a shrine, like a small kind of shrine. 철거 is getting rid of it. 예정 보고, the report of the plans to demolish a small shrine. 메모로 봤는데 I saw a memo about that.
사당이 어디 있었죠?
Where was that shrine?
잠깐. 지도를 꺼내보자.
Let's get out the map.
사당 여기
Here it
있다.
is.
여기랑 비교적 가깝네.
It's relatively close to here.
또 산 안쪽에 있고 여길 철거할 거라고 적혀 있었다고?
또 산 안쪽에 있고, it's inside the mountain. I mean, as in the mountain area. 여길 철거할 거라고 적혀 있었다고? Then they said they're gonna demolish it.
네, 버려진 지 오래라고, 철거할 거라고.
Yeah.
올해 초에 메모한 내용이었어요.
Yeah. Let me. Okay. 버려진 지 오래라고. It says that it's been abandoned for a long time. 철거할 거라고 올해 초에, this year, the beginning of the year, 에 메모한 내용이었어요. So it said that they're gonna demolish it at the beginning of this year, is what the memo said.
계획은 내년이었으니까 아직 사당은 있을 거예요.
계획은 내년이었으니까, because the plans were for next year. 아직 사당은 있을 거예요. The shrine should still be there.
일단 여기를 후보로 두고
아, 후보. Backup. I was like, who? After. Something after. It was backup. So then let's just leave this place as a backup. Or as a, yeah.
여기보다 더 좋은 곳이 있을까?
여기보다 더 좋은 곳이 있을까? Could there be someplace better than here?
학교는 어때요?
How about school?
마을이랑도 멀리 떨어져 있고 여기서 산 타고 쭉 내려가면 있어요.
마을이랑도, I didn't even know there's a school here. 마을이랑도 멀리 떨어져 있고, it's really far. 멀리 떨어지다, to be very separated, far, with the town. And 여기서 산 타고 쭉 내려가면 있어요. And it's right, if we just go down the mountain, keep going down the mountain, it'll be right there.
학교라면 그래도 누군가 지키고 있지 않을까?
학교라면, if you're talking, yeah, the third book is still, like I said, at the highest it would be like low intermediate, just because you really need so much stuff to like get out of the basic level. But a lot of the stuff that you see in here is more intermediate advanced. I mean, I can explain every single piece of this if you have questions. Because so far there hasn't been anything I haven't been able to get. So, but yeah, 학교라면 그래도 누군가 지키고 있지 않을까? But if you're talking about the school, but still, shouldn't someone be like watching it? Isn't there going to be someone who's watching it?
게다가 학교 앞은 큰 길도 있어서 마을 사람들이 지나다니지 않을까?
게다가, and also 학교 앞은 큰 길도 있어서 there's also a large road in front of the school too. And because of that, 마을 사람들이, the village people, 지나다니지 않을까? Wouldn't they pass by it? As in regularly pass by it?
그러면 학교는 빼야겠네요.
Higher intermediate? No, it would not be possible to do 3 books to get to higher intermediate. But there are higher intermediate forms in the second book, like the Shipta forms are all there, like 하지 그래 할걸, you know, like that type of stuff that's typically considered like full intermediate forms. It does have a lot of that stuff, but I didn't want to go too high. I don't think you can get that high through books alone, so that's why I stopped where I did. But yeah, I'd say still, like, although there's some solid intermediate forms in book 3, overall, if someone finishes 1, 2, and 3, and they don't do anything else except practice that stuff, they would probably be like low intermediate, I'd say. There's just so much stuff that you have to learn, and like you can't get it from just doing little grammar lessons. You have to expose yourself to Korean because there's so much grammar. I wouldn't be able to teach all of the grammar forms during live streams. Some people have been like, "Oh, Billy, aren't you going to run out of live topics?" Never. Like really, there's so many grammar topics, like little grammar topics that I could always cover. That and once we get past all the common stuff, there's so many like random stuff. Like the previous sentence here we had 학교라면 up here. 학교라면 그래도 누군가 지키고 있지 않을까? This grammar here, 라면. Like, you know, it's like small little things. You're not going to find that in a book most of the time. Then we got to leave out the school. Forget the school. Other, like, you have to see how verbs actually get used, even if you know that beda means to remove, to take something out, to extract. It's also used for like removing an option, like forget that. Okay, well then let's scrap that idea, kind of like that. And you just need lots of exposure to the language for that. You just have to do lots and lots of practicing Korean, listening to Korean. Playing games is good too. Asking every few sentences. Yeah, I mean, I think once you finish the third book, though, you're ready for whatever. Because I think the third book gives you all of the foundation stuff that you need to get going. It gives you all of the main pieces that you need, and a lot of other stuff is just built upon those basics. And there's not that much like. There's even like my advanced live streams that I do. Anyway, so this says, so then we'll have to forget the school.
보건소?
Even the most basic stuff.
여기는요?
Even the most advanced lessons that I've done is what I was trying to say, are just still based on basic stuff. Like, yeah, it's used in this situation, it's used in this situation, but the way to do it is like a simple verb conjugation or something. You just slap it on the end of a verb stem. And in order to use it, you also have to know this intermediate form or this form, but like itself, it's all built on the basics. So, 보건소? 여기는요? How about here, the health center?
학교랑 비슷한 이유로 기각.
Never will run out, for sure. 학교랑 비슷한 이유로, for the same reason as the school, probably not. 기각 would be, no. 기각하다. Dismissed. Yeah. Let's write it down. After I finish this game, I think I'm going to update the Anki deck again. So I'm just trying to write down as much good stuff. Because we added several hundred words. For each of the games I played, we've added like several hundred words. So now it's up at like 3,000 almost. Whereas before it was like 1,200 or something.
사람도 잘 안 다닐 만한 곳은 산 안쪽뿐인데.
그러면은 결국, so basically then, after in the end of all this, so what we're saying is 길이 없고, a place with no roads, and 사람도 잘 안 다닐 만한 곳은, a place where people don't really go too often. 산 안쪽뿐인데 is only here within the island. I mean, within the mountain.
저희가 있는 통신국은요?
How about this communications tower we're at? I miss Korea too. Yeah.
절대 안 돼.
I swear, as soon as a vaccine comes out, soon as it comes out, even if I have to buy it when it's new, I'm gonna get that and go to Korea. 절대 안 돼. No, that's definitely not.
왜?
Why?
여기 아직까지 사람도 아무도 안 왔고 산 안에 있잖아.
여기 아직까지 사람도 아무도 안 왔고, still nobody's come here, and 산 안에 있잖아, and it's here in the mountains.
우리가 통신국에서 섬 안에서 연락이 되게 만든 걸 마을 사람들이 눈치챌 거야.
우리가 통신국에서 섬 안에서 연락이 되게 만든 걸, the fact that we made contact possible now within the island here at the communications tower, 마을 사람들이 눈치챌 거야. The village people are going to realize that. 눈치채다. Vaccine might be ages away. Yeah, we don't know. Oxford's is supposed to be done in September, and Oxford's already making 100 million doses right now as we speak. They're already making them. And if the third phase trials don't have any dangerous effects, well, actually, that's not quite true. But if it's, as long as it's effective, that's what they already checked that it's safe. But if it doesn't have any other negative side effects, and if it's still effective, then it'll be released in September. And if it doesn't, then they'll scrap all of those doses they're doing. And there's a few other companies that have it, that there are also producing right now, I believe. I think Pfizer in the US is also doing their own. And everyone's racing to be the first, right? As far as when can regular people get it, like go to the doctor and get it, who knows? Next year, we don't know. But as far as it existing, it could be September. I still haven't been. I wanted to go this October. Yeah, I was going to go. I would have already been back though now. I was planning to go from April, May, June. Almost 3 months.
핸드폰에서 안테나가 뜨는 걸 보고는 우리가 있는지 확인하러 여기에 올 거라고.
핸드폰에서 안테나가 뜨는 걸 보고는, after they see that they get a signal on their phones, 우리가 있는지, whether we're here, 확인하러 여기에 올 거라고. Like they're gonna come here to check if we're here.
확실히 그렇겠지.
Yeah, 확실히 그렇겠지. Yeah, definitely they would.
그럼 역시 사당뿐인가?
Then I guess just the 사당, just that shrine.
그럼 사당의 GPS 좌표랑 함께 여기로 오라고 문자를 보낸다.
Okay then, 사당의 GPS 좌표랑 함께, together with the coordinates, the GPS coordinates for the shrine, 여기로 오라고, come here, 문자를 보낸다. I'm sending a text message saying to come here then.
잠깐! 핸드폰 내놔요!
Hold on, give me your phone.
왜?
What?
좀 천천히 생각하면서 하자고요.
Let's think about it slowly. 좀 천천히 생각하면서 하자고요. Let's take our time here. No, we don't have time. Look at this. It's getting dark.
혹시 우리 중에 이미 누가 마을 사람들에게 붙잡혔다면
혹시 우리 중에, if by chance among us, 이미 누가 마을 사람들에게 by the village people 붙잡혔다면, if someone was captured, caught by the village people. You know, actually, I'll give it to you, Tommy. That's a good point. We don't want to just say, hey, meet us here. That's why I said, can we just send him a text saying like, sup?
마을 사람들이 분명히 우리 핸드폰을 가지고 있을 거라고요.
마을 사람들이 분명히 우리 핸드폰을 가지고 있을 거라고요. Then of course the village people would have our cell phone.
정말이네.
정말이네. We got to do a separate drink for 정말이네. This is the 5th time.
일단 역시 우리만 알아볼 수 있는 내용으로 보내야죠.
Hey, Cameron. Holy crap. Dude, why didn't you do this? Oh, dang. Don't think I don't check my phone. I won't. Should I say it or no? I'll just say, yeah, I'll just say Cameron sent me a nice little donation. I'll just say that. Thank you. I won't read it out loud. Oh, dang. Seriously, man. It's crazy. Say it. Another one for... Oh, yeah. Another one for 그건 그렇고. 그건 그렇고 also gets one. 그건 그렇고 정말이네. 마을 사람들. 게다가 is also used all the time. Yeah, Cameron just gave me a $150 donation, which is insane. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, thank you, man. I'll say it. Yeah, you know, I know you don't. You said you're like, oh, I don't have to say thanks, but no, really, that's awesome. Thank you. PayPal takes the least. Yeah, it's true. PayPal does. I mean, it's fun when people do it during the YouTube live streams though, because you know, I'll do like a dance and stuff, but YouTube does take 40%, just like they do with ads. And I get that because YouTube's doing all the server work. Like they need money to survive, and most channels aren't monetized for them. Yeah, that's awesome. Like I said, right now I haven't spent any money on my equipment stuff in a while because I'm waiting for some stuff to come out. Next month I'm going to upgrade my editing software for the first time in years, and then in a few months there's going to be a new camera announced, I think, and I'm going to get that. And when I get that, I'm going to have to buy a bunch of stuff to go with it because I haven't upgraded my like my tripod since I first started. I think since 2013 or something. I've had this tripod. 일단 역시 우리만 알아볼 수 있는 내용으로 보내야죠. So first of all, of course, 역시 as you think, 우리만 알아볼 수 있는 something only we can recognize. 내용, contents, the contents of the message. 보내야죠. So we got to send it as a message that only we would recognize. Yeah. Upgrades. That's the thing. Like I'm really careful with how I spend like money in general for stuff. I mean, I eat food and stuff like that. But I mean, like for when I get upgrades, I don't like. When I first started, I would buy stuff that I would only end up using for a short time because like I thought I might use it, but then I didn't. Now I put stuff in my wish list and then I leave it there for like 3 months or so and think about it. And then if I still feel like, yeah, this is really good, then I buy it. And I have some stuff right now I'm waiting for like that. Yeah, because I know that if I don't keep making my content higher quality, I'm going to get overshadowed by new content creators, or, you know, companies are going to come in to start teaching Korean besides talk to me in Korean. And I want to always have better content. So yeah, I have to be really strategic. Like, what do I buy? Because I don't want to like spend. I don't want to spend like $50 on a new light if it's not going to be what I need, when I could have spent like $100 and got something much better. So yeah, sometime go back. It'd be a fun activity. Go back, watch my early videos, the ones with KiCat, and see how much they've improved over the time. That'll give you like an idea of what I do. 일단 역시 우리. Oh yeah, okay.
그러면 일단 무조건 GPS 좌표는 보내야 하고.
그러면은 okay, well, so then first of all, 무조건 we have to make sure to 무조건 unconditionally, but that's like we really have to. GPS 좌표, GPS coordinates 보내야 하고, we have to send those.
GPS 좌표를 보내면
If we send
마을
the GPS
사람들이 알지도
coordinates,
모르니까 다른
마을
방법이
사람들이
있을까?
알지도 모르니까 maybe the village people would know. Because of that, 다른 방법이 있을까? Is there another method, another way? Yeah, laptop. The laptop I'm using right now, I also thought about it for a long time. Maybe like, I'm trying to think, when did I first start thinking about that? It was at least more than 6 months. It might have been much longer than that. Maybe a year. Yeah. It's been over a year actually that I was thinking about this laptop. I finally got it. I actually got it in March thinking that I would bring it to Korea because I wanted an editing laptop. I couldn't go, but it's still really good editing laptop for the price. Like, I didn't want to get like a big brand name because I knew I could get something better for even cheaper that would be more appropriate for what I do. So I got a really good one for a good price. But yeah, and if you're curious, it's an electronics brand. It's like it's one of those companies that lots of manufacturers buy and rebrand it, but it's a good quality one of those. So it's like on par with other big companies that make their laptops as far as like build quality and features and performance and price, but you don't get the fancy brand name of some other ones which are like an extra $600 for the same thing. Or actually in this case, the equivalent one that had all these features from like Acer or something like that, you know, or one of the bigger, or Alienware or whatever, was about $800 more. If we send the GPS coordinates, 마을 사람들이 알지도 모르니까 다른 방법이 있을까?
우리가 스쿠버 다이빙 할 때 쓰는 우리들의 콜 넘버를 정했잖아요.
Didn't we pick our call number? Call number. Didn't we have like a number for when we did scuba diving? 우리가 스쿠버 다이빙 할 때 쓰는 우리들의 콜 넘버를 정했잖아요.
GPS 좌표의 숫자를 우리 이름으로 대신해서 보내면요.
GPS 좌표의 숫자를, the numbers of the GPS coordinates, 우리 이름으로 대신해서 보내면요. how about if we replace them with our names? Like if your number is like 46 or 5, maybe your number's 5, then every time there's a 5, you put in like Sehan or Youngjo, like that. That's what they mean. Acer is fine. Yeah, I was trying to think of the right brand. Asus. Asus could be okay. Like I used to work at Best Buy.
정말 좋아. 콜 넘버는 우리밖에 모르는 내용이잖아.
And funnily, so I knew the guys who worked at the repair center, Geek Squad, and they told me that most laptops have a similar fail rate. They said 20% fail within, I think it's like a year or something like that, like a major failure, like hard drive dies or battery dies, major failure was 20% or something like that. But they said Apple's was the highest, which I thought was funny. But other than that, they're like, yeah, Toshiba's about this, and this is this, and Asus is this. So it seems similar, but that was back in 2008. Nowadays, I don't know. It could be a lot different now. 정말 좋아. Oh, that's great. 콜 넘버는 우리밖에 모르는 내용이잖아. The call numbers are something that only we would know. Hard drive dies. Yeah, that's right, Cheryl. I remember. But you can, like you said, you'll get an enclosure for it. It should be okay.
역시 김세한.
And even if your hard drive dies, Cheryl, there are those recovery services, but they charge a few $100 where they just take out the actual drive and they read it on a different machine. And that recovers it. But it sometimes has, if it's like physically damaged, then you won't get everything back. But if it just died damaged, you can usually get most of it back. Good. 역시 김세한. Haha. That's the 김세한 that I know. Like that sort of meaning.
그러면 딴 내용은 넣지 말고 GPS 좌표만 넣어서 보내죠.
그러면 딴 내용은 넣지 말고 이거 다른. This means 다른. Then don't put anything else in the text. GPS 좌표만 넣어서 보내죠. Then just put in the GPS coordinates and send it.
자, 모두 각자 콜 넘버를 다 외워뒀으니까 다들
I think
기억할
it's
거라고
C's.
생각하고 보냅니다.
And then usually, even after it seizes, you can get it to start up a few more times after that, before it's like really dead, depending on what part stopped. 다 모두 각자 콜 넘버를 다 외워뒀으니까, since we've all remembered our individual call numbers, 다들 기억할 거라고 생각하고 보냅니다. So I'll think that everyone remembers that, and we'll be thinking of that, and I'll send it. Mine just broke down earlier this year, but I called some super secret numbers and got a fix first. Nice. The only thing my 10-year MacBook does is that the cable connecting the motherboard and the hard drive dies every 4 years. Interesting. It's been running hot for some time. I have a laptop table with a fan to cool it, but I guess it wasn't. Yeah, my first laptop when I started the YouTube channel. Oh, it's a funny story. Do you guys want to hear about when I almost quit my YouTube channel?
제발 모두 알아채서 안전하게 와주길.
제발, please, I hope. 모두, everyone, 알아채서 everyone realizes that and 안전하게 와주길, and hope that everyone comes here safely. Nika is a fanboy, yes. 발신. Oh! Received. Okay, so I first started my channel 2012, though I mean, my videos really started more in like 2013, January, around then. I had been doing the channel for just a few weeks. So I was just getting started. Like I put up my first videos, and I had a bunch of subscribers already, a few hundred subscribers, or I think it was like 1,000 subscribers, something like that, but nothing really big. And I was thinking like, I think I should do this for the time being. Let's do this as a fun hobby while I'm looking for a job, because I was full-time looking for a job. And I was making episodes like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, something like that. I had 8 episodes I was making because I had just made the first 2 or 3, if you guys remember, the very first. And then I took like a break for a little bit, and then I thought, let's make 1 each week. But you know what? I can do this more efficiently. Let's do 8 at a time, right? So I was working on 8. I filmed 8 videos. I made the projects for 8. I wrote the scripts. I made the, actually, I don't think I had PDFs yet at that time. I can't remember. Anyway, and I was in the middle of editing like the 7th or 8th one. Like I was really toward the end of finishing them. Like I already had 8 ready. I was just going to make the last touches. And then my laptop died. And I didn't have a backup. I have backups normally. I'm not like that dumb. I keep backups of stuff. And for whatever reason, I was just really stressed. I didn't have a backup of any of this stuff. So my hard drive wouldn't turn on. The computer would give a hard drive error, can't find C drive. I checked the connection, it was connected. Yeah, so I was like, oh my goodness. And meanwhile, I'm still like, looking for a job and everything like that. And I'm just trying to remember it all because it was a while back. And I called a company and found out that there's something called a hard drive enclosure that I can order it. So I quickly went down that day to the store, bought a hard drive enclosure, took out my hard drive, and put it in there. Fortunately, it loaded back up. And in fact, I still have the hard drive. It still works. All it was the computer itself died, or the cable died, or for whatever reason, it couldn't detect the hard drive. So the laptop was old. It was terrible. It's super dirty. I threw that away and I bought parts. I didn't have enough money, so I bought parts and built my first computer, which was like $600, I think. So it's really cheap. And and I put that in a separate computer, and then I finished editing it. And then after that, I made sure not to have more than one project that's not backed up at once. But yeah, at that time when it happened, I was like, what is this? Like, this is ridiculous. This is so much work. I think I spent like 2 weeks or more making those videos. And I was just thinking, like, if I can't get my files back, I'm done. Like, I wasn't sure that I would be done, but I was really like, that would have really set me back. I might have stopped making videos, or I might have just been like, whatever, I'm not doing this anymore. Seriously, I'll make one video a month or something like that. So yeah, fortunately, that didn't end up happening. We got the channel as it is right now. And as you know, now there's like 4 videos or 5 videos a week sometimes. So yeah. Okay, anyway, back to here. Yeah. So I think I still have the hard drive though, and which is kind of funny, and it still works. But these days, whenever I film a video, it's always in 3 places at least, sometimes 4 places. My computer that I edited on, my server, which is in my bedroom. I have a server with 30, 40, about almost 40 something terabytes worth of storage total. And that's because I need future proofing. I use like a couple terabytes a year at least. And then it backs that up to another cloud service I have for backup. So yeah. And when I'm working on big projects, I'll also save a backup copy of the individual file. And when I go to Korea, I have 2 different hard drives that I carry around I keep at home. That way I have 2 copies of every file in addition to keeping it on my laptop. So yeah, I'm not dealing with that again. Busanheng, yeah, not quite that.
일단
Okay,
문자는 보냈으니까
sent.
우리가 가장
Sent.
먼저 사당에 도착해서
일단 문자는 보냈으니까 since we've sent the text message, 우리가 가장 먼저 사당에 도착해서 since we've sent the message now, so then let's first go to the shrine, arrive there first, and
사당이 안전한지부터 확인하자.
let's first check if the shrine is safe. 사당이 안전한지부터. First, you can look at this as 안전한지. 확인하자. Let's check if it's safe. 안전한지부터. Let's first check if it's safe. Like that.
그리고 지금쯤이면 우리가 통신국에 왔다는 걸 마을 사람들도 눈치챘을 수도 있어.
그리고 지금쯤이면 and by now 우리가 통신국에 왔다는 걸, the fact that we came to this communications tower, 마을 사람들도 눈치챘을 수도 있어. The village people might have realized that too. Yeah, so that's the story. I don't think I've ever shared that story before. Yeah, I think this is the first time I've ever shared that story. At the time, though, it was really traumatic because I wasn't like professionally doing YouTube or anything, but I felt like at that time that I was going through like a really not a very happy period. I think I couldn't get a job for the longest time, and the channel was actually kind of giving me like some sort of like purpose, something that I could do to keep my spirits up while I was trying to find a job.
빨리 가자.
Let's hurry. Yep, and then I kept going, and the rest is history.
수아야, 저 여자애 빨리 잡아.
We're back here. Hurry up and grab that girl.
네?
어서. 아니 내가 할게.
I'll do it.
가만히 있지 않으면 이 애가 어떻게 될지
Okay,
몰라.
I'm gonna go through this quickly until we get to the phone
잠깐만요.
because we've already done this like 3
어서.
times.
당신.
네,
수아는 아까 가져.
네.
꽉 묶어.
꽉 묶었어요.
꼬마애는 놔줄. 당신한테.
네, 알겠.
I don't want to skip too fast because
그 아이도 여기
we should get a
있어요.
text message
이 아이는
sometime.
말을 못합니다.
가장 먼저.
배선규,
그리고 그 아이
이현.
대류.
네,
그건 그렇고.
제가 이 보고
그러면 이.
그렇습니다.
그럼 이제 이 섬은 정말 인심.
네, 맞습니다. 그것도 많은 집단이 참가.
What was that? 많은 집단이 참가하는 아시안 인신매매 중심. Okay, we already got this before. It's the center of human trafficking for lots of Asian countries, of many organizations. And then suddenly,
말도 안 돼.
oh, that's right. He hits
어떻게
the desk.
인신매매를?
He hits the desk with his hand. No, I don't think he punched him. I think he just hit the. Right? Did he punch? I don't think he punched him. That sounded like
말도 안 되는 이야기인 건 알고
he hit the
있습니다.
desk with his hand. Oh, something happened.
원래부터 이 법을
먹고 살려. 말도 안 되죠. 누가 먹고 살기 힘들어 사람을 사고 팔고
오빠, 괜찮아.
무슨 이유로 인신매매를 하는 건
네. 그래서 당신
어떻게?
여기 사람들끼리는 무정 섬도 큰 편이 아니니까.
그래서 이 섬에서는
네. 혹시 마을 사람들도 핸드폰을 가지고 있지?
철두철미. 그런데
Okay, we need to.
필요하뇨?
아까 분명히
If we
앞으로
keep
들어오.
going, we should get to the text message part.
정말 날카로우신 분이. 네. 이 섬에는 여러분이 들어오신 항구가 원래부터 있던 이 섬, 저희가 앞이라. 그리고 섬의 뒤쪽 인신매매를 하러 오는 사람들과
look
화물들이
outside.
다니는
I just saw
곳이죠.
this. You just saw this, right? It's on fire. Something's burning.
역시
오빠,
Here,
창문을
okay,
봐요.
now we get some different dialogue. I think you just hit the desk. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the fire. 오빠 창문을 봐요. Look at the window.
저쪽에서
저쪽에서
불길이.
불길이. There's like a fire that way.
저기는 우리 마을인데.
We put the village on fire? Did we? I don't. What did we do? I don't remember what we did. Did we burn something? Ah, we were saying like to make a distraction or something like that. I don't even remember because I don't remember. 저기는 우리 마을인데. That's our village.
마을에서 불이 난 건가?
Ah, that's right. But who did that? Oh, that's right. We did that. So we could work on the tower so we can get everyone focused on the village. 마을에 불이 난 건가? Is there a fire in the village?
갑자기 말에 불이 났더니
Seeing as there's a fire in the village,
우연이라고 하기에는 타이밍이.
the timing's too much to say it's a coincidence. 우연이라고 하기에는 타이밍이.
네. 아마도 여러분의 친구분들께서 한 일이 아닐까요?
Yeah, I think maybe it's something that your friends did. 네, 아마도 여러분들의 친구분들께서 한 일이 아닐까요?
말에 불이 난 것 치고는 상당히 침착하시네요.
Tom B. Okay, yeah, that's right. I don't remember us doing it. I just remember us talking about doing it. Like we were saying that we needed to have a distraction so that the people wouldn't want to chase us or something. Yeah. 말에 불이 난 것 치고는 for the village being on fire 상당히 침착하시네요. You're quite composed despite the town being on fire.
사실 저는 이 마을에서 겉도는 존재라서요.
I'm not from this island actually. 사실 저는 이 마을에서 겉도는 존재라서요. I don't know 겉도, but I just know it's cut outside. So 겉돌다. I see. I'm not a part of this island. Like I'm left out of this island. I'm not included in this basically. So like I don't care. Well, where's his house? Where does he live then?
게다가 이 섬에 돌아온 지 몇
on
년
top of
되지도
that,
않았고.
It hasn't even been a few years since I've come to this island. 이 섬에 돌아온 지 몇 년 되지도 않았고. Okay, now this is the Ijang really mad at Seongyu.
마을 사람들한테서 무전이 왔습니다만
Looks like there's been a radio call to the people from the village people. 마을 사람들한테서 무전이 왔습니다만.
받아야 할 것 같습니다.
I think I should get it. Yeah, so I got a radio call from the village people. Specifically, it's the Ijang though. I think I should get it. I think I should answer it.
확실히 안 받으면 의심하겠지.
I'm sure if you don't get it, they're gonna be suspicious. 의심하겠지.
하지만 당신이 우리가 여기에 있다고 말을 한다면?
하지만 당신이 우리가 여기 있다고 말을 한다면. But what if you say that we are here?
알리지 않겠다고 약속드리겠습니다.
I promise you, I will not tell them. 알리지 않겠다고. I didn't drink for village people.
응답을 하지 않는다면 분명히 마을 사람들이 찾아올 거예요.
응답을 하지 않는다면, if he doesn't reply, if he doesn't answer, 분명히 마을 사람들이 찾아올 거예요. I'm sure that the village people will come to find us.
하지만 이 사람이 우리를 신고해버리면 무슨 소용이야?
하지만 이 사람이 우리를 신고해버리면, but if this person reports us, 무슨 소용이냐? 무슨 소용이야? What use would that be? Like, what does that matter if this person reports us? That, for what they said before. Like, if he doesn't answer, they're gonna come looking here. But it's like, well, okay.
그렇다고 응답을 안 할 순 없잖아요.
그렇다고 still 응답을 안 할 수는 없잖아요. You can't not reply.
저 사람에게 맡기는 수밖에 없나?
저 사람에게 맡기는 수밖에 없나? It's all I have to do is the only thing I have. Is the only thing that I can do. Trust it to that person. Is that the only option? Trusting him.
네.
Yes.
여기 받으세요.
Here. Get it. Basically, answer the call.
네, 선규입니다.
야 임마! 뭐하느라 이렇게 대답이 되죠?
Why is your reply so late? What are you doing? Your reply so late. Minor phrase is evidence of the vast area of English covers.
죄송합니다. 책을 읽고 있느라고.
Sorry. 죄송합니다. 책을 읽고 있느라고. I was just reading a book. That's why I couldn't answer your phone call. I mean, your radio.
또 아무 쓸데도 없는 책이나 보고 있었구먼.
You're looking at another useless book, huh? 또 아무 쓸데도 없는 책. 쓸데없다, useless. 책이나 or something like that. 보고 있었구만. So you were looking at a book.
말에 불이 난 건 알고 있냐?
말에 불이 난 건 알고 있냐? Do you know that there's a fire in the village?
불이 났습니까?
Is there a
책을
fire?
읽고 있느라 몰랐습니다.
책을 읽고 있느라 몰랐습니다. I didn't know because I'm reading a book. Because I was reading a book.
이 쓸모없는 자식.
You
말에
useless
불이
child.
났다고.
불이 났다고. There's a fire in the village.
게다가 말에 불이 나서 난리인데 말하는 본세하고는
The way you're talking, I mean, there's like a fire in the village. 본세, how would we translate this? Yeah, just the way that you are talking is the best I can do here. Okay.
그렇고
그건 그렇고.
현인 거기에 있냐?
현이는 거기 있냐? Is 현이 there?
네, 여기에 저랑 같이 있습니다.
Yes, she's here with me.
그래. 잘 있으면 됐다. 이장님이 확인해 보라고 해서.
Wait, this isn't the Ijang? I thought this was the Ijang the whole time. Okay, 그래 잘 있으면 됐다. It's fine if she is.
제가 도와드릴 일은
이장님이 확인해 보라고 해서 the Ijang told me to check. I thought this was the Ijang the whole time. It's the same voice actor, I swear. he talks like almost the same way. That wasn't the Ijang. That was just someone else. Anyway, I didn't know until the very last line because he didn't say who he was. 제가 도와드릴 일은, is there anything that I can help?
됐고. 애나 잘 보고 있어.
Forget it. Just watch the kid.
제가 여기 사람들에게 별로 신뢰를 못 받는다는 사실은
제가 여기 사람들에게서 별로 신뢰를 못 받는다는 사실은
이걸로 여러분들께서도 알게 되셨을 것 같네요.
Okay, so I wanted to go to the next line so that we can translate it because it wasn't a complete sentence. 제가 여기 사람들에게서 별로 신뢰를 못 받는다는 사실은 the fact that I can't 신뢰를 못 받다. I can't get trusted. I'm not trusted. The fact that I'm not trusted 별로 very much by the people here. 이걸로 여러분들께서도 알게 되셨을 것 같네요. I think you guys could have figured it out now with this. Like listening to this, you guys can probably figure out why I'm not that trusted by the people in this village. They didn't have many voice actors. It might be a different person. It might be a different person. it just sounded the same, like he's
그래서
yelling at
네
him.
생각은 어떻게 하고 싶다는 거야?
그래서 네 생각은 어떻게 하고 싶다는 거야? So what do you think we should do?
모두가 모일 방법을 찾으면 좋겠다.
모두가 모일 방법을 찾으면 좋겠다. It would be good if we could find a way for everyone to meet up.
는
Is what I'm
이야기예요.
saying. I mean, that's what I mean.
아까부터 이야기가 자꾸 그 방향으로 가는데
Keep talking. Our conversation keeps going that direction. Yeah, find how to meet up with them. But
우리가 처한 현실을 직시하자는 이야기야.
직시하다. Hold on. 직시. I see. 직 directly, like 직접. 직진. 시 to see. 시력, vision, like that. 직시. So look directly at, face it. This is why 한자's cool. So basically, we're saying let's just face our situation right now. Hire me with a voice. Yeah, we did that last time. We did the voice acting. 우리가 처한 현실을 직시하자는 얘기야. 직시하다. Yeah, 현실을 직시하다. To face reality. But I wouldn't do a Korean voice. I would just do the English. I would do the English dubbing for this game.
우리 말고는 애들이 어디 있는지도 모르는 상태고
I mean, we don't even know where the others are. I don't know what his voice would be. Maybe I'll just do Shaggy's voice for everyone. The whole game will just be dubbed. There'll just be a version like Korean dubbing, English dubbing, and then Shaggy. Just everyone's in Shaggy or like Mickey Mouse or something like that. Face the facts, kind of. Just yeah, kind of like that meaning. 우리 말고는 애들이 어디 있는지도 모르는 상태고 we don't even know where. 모르는 상태. We're in the state of not knowing. Even 우리 말고는 besides us, not us, but 애들이 어디 있는지도 where everyone else is. Like we don't even know where the others are. Right, Scooby? Right, Shaggy?
마을 사람들이 어디로 어떻게 움직이는지 알 수도 없어.
We can't even know. 알 수도 없어. We can't even know. 마을 사람들이 어디로 어떻게 움직이는지. Where the village people. 어디로 움직이는지. Where they are moving to. And 어떻게 움직이는지. How or where they are moving to. So we don't even know where the village people are moving. Like we don't even know where the village people are going or how. as soon as I break out the Shaggy voice, Cameron's like, all right guys, I'm out. Plenty of time to see episode of my favorite drama. See y'all Sunday. Nice. Take care. See you next time. Thanks again.
이 상태로는 나머지 애들을 찾을 수 없는 상황이라는 거지.
이 상태로는 나머지 애들을 찾을 수 없는 상황이라는 거지. So basically the situation we're in right now is where we cannot 찾을 수 없는 상황. We cannot find 나머지 애들. The others, the remaining 나머지 애들. So right now we
지금
can't find
다른
everyone
친구들을
else.
찾는 것보다는 차라리 구조 요청이라든가
지금 다른 친구들을 찾는 것보다는 차라리 구조 요청이라든가 so maybe 다른 친구들을 찾는 것 finding our other friends 보다는 more than that 차라리 rather 구조 요청이라든가 we should maybe ask for help instead of looking for everyone else. Maybe we should just first try to get help.
탈출 방법을 찾는 게 우리 모두를 위한 방법이 아닐까 생각해.
I think that maybe 탈출 방법, a way to escape. 탈출 방법을 찾는 게 finding a way to escape. I'm sorry, an old man. Well, younger than Billy. You're all such a fun bunch. Yeah, take care. See you again. Definitely. Dang. 우리 모두를 위한 방법이 아닐까 생각해. I think maybe that would be a method for us. Like finding a way to escape would be something for all of us, right? Is what I'm thinking.
구조 요청이라.
Requesting help.
아까부터 계속 가만히 듣고만 계시다가 왜 갑자기 끼어드시죠?
왜 갑자기 뛰어드시죠? Why are you suddenly butting in, entering our conversation? 아까부터, from before, 계속 가만히 듣고만 계시다가 you were just listening quietly.
제가 도움이 될 수도 있지 않을까 해서 말입니다.
제가 도움이 될 수도 있지 않을까 해서 말입니다. I'm thinking that maybe I could 도움이 될 수도 있지. I could also be helpful 않을까, maybe. 해서 wondering that 말입니다. Is what I'm saying.
외부인인 저희를 왜 도우려고 하는 건지 이해가 되질 않네요.
외부인 is an outsider. 외부 is outside, in person. 외부인이다. 외부인인 저희를 왜 도우려고 하는 건지 이해가 되질 않네요. I can't understand why you would try to help outsiders like us.
옳지 않은 일이 일어나고 있던 것을 지금껏 함구하고 있던 사람이
We didn't give. I guess in this playthrough we didn't give him the. Oh, that's right. We didn't find the. We didn't find the little notebook, so he's not 100% on our side right now. We got to keep that in mind. Like he's kind of willing to help us, but we saw the other ending where we didn't convince him enough with the notebook, and then he just went and gave up as soon as the 이장 figured it out. 옳지 않은 일이 일어나고 있던 곳을 지금껏 함구하고 있던 사람이 함구하. Hold on, I can't remember. 함구하다. Yeah, that's right. 함구, hold your mouth. 말하지 아니하다. 입을 다문다는 뜻에서 나온 말이다. Yeah. Closing your mouth. Literally, 함구. 구 is your mouth. 옳지 않은 일이 일어나고 있던 곳을 지금껏 함구하고 있던 사람이, a person who's just been holding their mouth this whole time, despite the fact that like wrong things have been happening. Yeah, it's a slow fire. You know, it's you gotta. That's the way you make the nice barbecue. You get the fire going, you keep it slow, and you just do a long roast. 지금껏 is up until now. Let's see what the next part is so we can get a better translation.
용기를 내서 조금은 남아있는 양심을 지키고 싶어하는 것으로 생각해 주세요.
Oh yeah, I should write down the rest of it. It's not nothing in here that's new for me, but it's part of the sentence. Oops. It's so long. Okay, but now we have the two parts, we can put it together. Wow, that's a long sentence. Okay, so in order to get it, we have to look at the very end. 옳지 않은 일이 일어나고 있던 곳을, the fact that there have been 옳지 않은 일, things that are not right, like wrong things have been going on, 지금껏, up till now, 함구하다, to keep your mouth shut. 함구하고 있던 사람, a person who's just been keeping their mouth shut up until now, even though bad things have been happening. 용기를 내서, gathering up some courage, and 용기를 내서 조금 남아있는, 조금, a little bit, 남아있는, left, little bit left, 양심, your what would that be? Not dignity. Conscious? Your consciousness, like your conscious. Let's check it. 양심. Yeah. Conscious. 양심을 지키다. To keep your conscious. 싶어 하는 것으로 생각해 주세요. So let's look at backwards now. So please just think of it as that I want to keep a little bit of small remaining confidence that I have, and I'm just being courageous, someone who has been keeping their mouth shut this whole time despite the fact that like lots of bad things have been going on. So let's put that now into more natural translation. So basically we're like, why weren't you saying anything? Or, no, why would you want to help outsiders like us? Like, just think of it as like someone who's just been kind of standing by and keeping his mouth shut the entire time, wants to kind of hold on to a little bit of the consciousness that he has left.
그래서 어떻게 도와주실 수 있다는 거죠?
So how is it that you're saying you can help us? 그래서 어떻게 도와주실 수 있다고 하는 거죠? How are you saying you can help us?
이 섬에서 외부로 통신하기 위해서는 두 가지 방법이 있습니다.
이 섬에서 외부로 통신하기 위해서는 in order to have communication with the outside world from this island 두 가지 방법이 있습니다. There are two ways.
첫 번째는 저희
Mr.
아버지
Crocker
집에서
from
전화를
Fairy
사용하는
Godparents.
방법.
Fairy godparents. I used to watch that show. Yeah, I used to watch that show a lot. I think I saw every episode for the original few seasons. I even have a Shiny Teeth and Me on my MP3 player. 첫 번째는 저희 아버지 집에서 전화를 사용하는 방법. First of all, 첫 번째는 저희 아버지 집에서 from my father's house 전화를 사용하는 방법. The method of using a phone. Yeah, I like that show. That was great. Where did you get that? Internet?
하지만 아직도 꺼지지 않은 저런 불길이라면
하지만 아직도 꺼지지 않은 저런 불길이라면 But if we're talking about that fire there that still has not gone out yet, which is probably going to be near the 이장's house.
저희 아버지 집도 온전치 못하겠죠.
Shiny Teeth and Me. Yeah, Shiny Teeth and Me. There was also I just don't remember. The other thing I liked in that show is Dinkelberg, and this is where I would put my trophy if I had one. And then also what was it? I can't remember all the characters' names because I haven't seen it in a while. But there's like the bad Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. Dimitana, you have been. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. 온전 is to be whole. 온전하지. This 온전치 is just shortened of 하지. 하지 becomes 치. 하고 becomes 코. 하게 becomes 케. You'll see some of these things. So it's basically my father's house isn't going to be intact. That's the word I want. Intact. Timitana. From today, I'm going to be your fairy godparent. Timmy is an average kid that no one understands. That Mom and Dad and Vicky always giving him commands. Twerp, gloom and doom up in his room are broken instantly. Did it by the magic little fish who grants his every wish.
두 번째 방법은
reality, they are
여기 뒤쪽에 산으로 올라가면 통신탑이 나옵니다.
parents, wands and wings, floaty crowny things. Odd parents, fairly odd parents, really buff beach. Something buff bod, hot rod, octus, rubber deuce, rubber goose, green moose, guava juice, giant cake, giant snake, birthday cake, large fries, chocolate shake, yeah, something like that. 두 번째 방법은, and the second method is 여기 뒤쪽에 산을 올라가면, if you go up the mountain behind here, 통신탑이 나옵니다. You'll get a 통신 tower, a communications tower.
그 밑에 있는 시설에서 이 섬의 통신을 제어하고 있습니다.
그 밑에 있는 시설에서 from that the facilities 시설 that are below that tower 이 섬의 통신을 제어하고 있습니다. It controls the communications of this place.
그곳에서 외부로 구조 요청을 하면
그곳에서 외부로 구조 요청을 하면 if you request help outside from there
하면
if we wait no
아닙니다. 제가 실수를 했군요.
no it's my mistake.
아니 말을 잘하시다가 왜 그러는 거죠?
아니 말을 잘하시다가 you're speaking so you're speaking normally 왜 그러는 거죠? What's up?
그 시설에서 구조 요청을 하면 됩니다만
You can request help from that facility, but
외부로 통신을 하기 위해서는 특별한 열쇠가 필요합니다.
외부로 통신을 하기 위해서는 in order to communicate with the outside 특별한 열쇠가 필요합니다. You'll need a special key.
특별한 열쇠?
Special key?
제가 섬에 돌아왔을 때 아버지께서 딱 한 번 보여주신 적이 있는데
제가 섬에 돌아왔을 때 when I came to the island here, 아버지께서 my father 딱 한 번 only once 보여주신 적이 있는데 has shown it to me only once.
정확히 어떻게 생겼는지는 기억이 나질 않습니다.
But I don't remember. 기억나지를 않습니다. I do not remember. This is why you got to know what the verb type is. 기억나다. Then you know you can use 지를 here with the object marker. But anyway, 기억나지를 않습니다. I do not remember. Do not recall. 정확히 어떻게 생겼었는지, how it looked. I don't really
하지만
remember what it looked like. 하지만,
분명히
but
처음
I'm
보는
sure
특이한 형태의
처음 보는
열쇠였습니다.
특이한 형태의 열쇠였습니다. But I'm sure it was a 처음 보는 that I'd seen for the first time I ever saw it, a 특이한 like uniquely 형태 shaped key였습니다.
제가 관심이 있는 물건이 아니면 잘 기억을 하지 못하는 편이라서.
I'm not someone who really remembers something unless it's something I'm interested in. 제가 관심 있는 물건이 아니면 if it's not something that I'm interested in, 잘 기억을 하지 못하는 편이라서. I'm someone who doesn't really remember well.
죄송합니다.
Sorry.
그 열쇠만 있다면
If I only
구조
have that
요청을
key,
할 수 있다는 거 아닌가요?
so then if I only have that key, 구조 요청을 할 수 있다는 거 아닌가요? Then doesn't that mean I can request help? By the way, whatever happened to our text message? We totally sent him the GPS coordinates. Isn't he getting a text message sometime?
그렇습니다만
That's right, but
그 열쇠는 항상 아버지가 가지고 다니셨어요.
that's right, but 그 열쇠는 항상 아버지가 가지고 다니셔서요. But only my father has that key. Notice here, 그렇습니다만. You can also put man at the end of a phrase, and it's just a formal way to add man. It's the same as saying 그렇지만. 그렇습니다만. It is, but in fact, that's actually a feature of Korean, is that the verb endings that you get, kind of a secret. Tell you guys, all the verb endings in Korean, like 지만, 고, all that type of stuff. Let me try to figure out a way to word this. 그렇지만 is informal, kind of like that. If you use it at the end of a sentence, just like using something at the end of a sentence without a yo, a lot of the grammar forms in Korean can stick onto other things that you don't normally think they could, just because the grammar form itself can have a lot of meaning. Like a good example would be like the te form or whatever. You can put the te form in the middle of a sentence without a yo, but you have to immediately follow it up by finishing the rest of the sentence, or else it sounds rude. At least though, you need it at the very end. You need to have the yo polite form at the end. Korean's like that. Like you can have a sentence where you're using casual forms in the middle of your sentence, but as long as the end has a formal form, in fact, Japanese does this too, but unrelated. As long as you have formal at the end, the whole sentence is formal. But if you want, you can also make the pieces individually of your sentence formal too. That's why you'll get things like, like 살다, to live. You can say like 살고 계십니다, 살고 계세요. They live in Korea. 한국에서 살고 계십니다. But you can also do 사시고, 사시다, right? 살다 can become 사시다. You can say 사시고 계십니다. But it's not necessary, because as long as you have formal at the end of your sentence, it makes it formal. Even if you just say 살고, which is not an honorific verb. So it's the same thing here. 그렇습니다만. So now it sounds formal in the middle of the sentence. Just extra formality. 그 열쇠는 항상 아버지가 가지고 다니셔서요. My dad always carries that key. It hasn't sent yet.
그래서 이장의 집은 저렇게 불에 타고 있고
So the 이장's house 저렇게 불에 타고 있고 is on fire like that.
이장이 가지고 다닌다는 그 열쇠를 구할 수 없으니까
And since we can't get that key that the 이장 가지고 다닌다는 그 열쇠, that key that he carries around, whose head hurts now. Why does your head hurt?
저희가 구조 요청을 할 방법은 없다는 이야기군요.
저희가 구조 요청을 할 방법은 없다는 얘기군요. So this is you're basically saying there is no method to request help.
도움을 드리고 싶었는데
I wanted to help.
죄송합니다.
I'm sorry.
그러면 구조 요청은 포기해야 하나?
구조 요청은 포기해야 하나? Do we have to give up requesting for help?
그러면 탈출 방
Then how about how to escape? There we go.
진동.
Vibrate.
오빠도 느꼈어요?
Did you feel it too?
핸드폰이에요.
It's a cell phone. A text.
문자다.
I got a text.
문자가 왔어. 영조한테서 왔는데.
I got it from 영조.
문자 내용이 이게 뭐야?
What is this? What does it say? The text
우리
message.
이름이랑 숫자가 적혀
It has our
있어요.
names and some numbers.
분명히 의미가 있는 문자겠지. 게다가 통신이 다시 돼.
분명히, I'm sure that 의미가 있다, to have a meaning. So I'm sure it's a text message has some meaning to it. 게다가 on top of that, 통신이 다시 돼. The communication works again.
정말이네요.
You're right.
안테나가 잡혀요.
You get it. I get antenna. I get a signal, basically. The
저기
bars.
아까 분명히 통신 쪽은 불가능하다고 말씀.
저기, hey, before 분명히 통신 쪽은 불가능하다고 말씀. You clearly said it. We couldn't talk to each other. There was no communication. But
제가 말씀드린 부분은 외부로 통신하는 경우였습니다.
what I was saying was 외부로, outside the island. 통신하는 경우였어요. Was the case of communicating outside?
섬 안에서 통신이 되게 하는 방법은 저도 알지 못해요.
섬 안에서 통신이 되게 하는 방법은 the way to make the communications work within the island? 저도 알지 못해요. I don't even know that.
정말입니다.
I'm serious. Really.
외부로 하는 통신은 아버지께서 열쇠를 보여주시며 이야기를 해주셔서
외부로 하는 통신은 as for communications outside, 아버지께서 my father 열쇠를 보여주시며 showed me the key and 이야기를 해주셔서 because my dad showed me the key for that.
알고 있을 뿐이지 다른 건 잘 모릅니다.
That's all. That's the only reason I know it. 다른 건 잘 모르. I don't know anything else.
저는 그저 보건소에서 살고 있는 한 명의 의사일 뿐입니다.
I'm just one doctor who lives. Oh, I guess he lives here. I live here in the health center. 저 보건소에서 살고 있는 한 명의 의사일 뿐입니다.
수아야,
Hey, 수아.
이 문자가 함정일 수도 있다는 생각을 해봐야 할 것 같아.
이 문자가 함정일 수도 있다는 생각을 해봐야 할 것 같아. I think we have to also think that this 문자 could be a 함정, a trap. Why? No.
마을 사람들이 영주의 핸드폰으로 우리를 속이려고 보낸 걸 수도 있으니까.
마을 사람들이 it could be something that the 보낸 거일 수도 있으니까 it could be something that the village people sent in order to 우리를 속이려고 in order to trick us. 영조의 핸드폰으로 with 영조's cell phone.
그런데
But
함정이라면
함정이라면?
이렇게 알 수도 없는 내용으로
이렇게
보냈을까요?
알 수도 없는 내용으로 보냈을까요? Would they have sent it with these contents, the message, that 이렇게 알 수도 없는, that we can't even know what it is?
함정도 좋지만
Of course,
상대가 이해할 수 있어야지 함정이 아닐까요?
yeah, you know, a trap, it could be a trap, but 상대가 이해할 수 있어야지. It's got in order for it to be a trap, isn't it only a trap if 상대가 이해할 수 있어야지, if the other person, 상대, can understand it?
맞는 말이야.
You're right.
정말 날카로운 지적이었어.
Just realizing I need to increase my reading speed. Yeah, that'll come with your comprehension speed. You don't have to worry about like trying to increase it just by reading random stuff. That'll come with when you get better at comprehending. Because like when you get better at comprehending, you're not actually going to read. You're not going to read the letters. You're not going to read this and say like 정, 말. You're going to know 날카로운 is a common word adjective for sharp. So you're just going to 정말 날카로운 지적이었어. You're just going to read it without looking at the letters like you do in English. So and you can only do that when you know what the word says. Like, yeah. I'm sure you can do that with some words in Korean where you just see the word and 지적, I believe, is observation here. It's talking about. Oh, yeah, pointing out something. Or no, never mind. Intellect, different 지적. Normally 지적 is like 지적, like your finger point somewhere. So intellect, yeah. Nah, of course, I'm dumb. 날카롭다. I'm like, why would I think that means point? Of course it means intellect here. 날카로운 지적, such sharp intellect, just like we say in English. But yeah, you'll know the word 날카롭다 means sharp, and you'll see 날카로운. You won't need to read it 날카로운 because you know in your head sharp is 날카롭다, so you can read it like that. But yeah, don't worry about increasing your reading speed. Just worry about increasing your comprehension, and your reading speed will come with that. Sometimes I'm dumb, and I don't even read the sentence when I'm trying to look up a word. I read a lot of books. My comprehension speed is too slow. Try something easier. Try something that's easier that you can build your speed up with, like a game. Chatting's great too. Chatting with Koreans is great too. Books are good, but then you get good at reading books.
확실히 우리를 속이려면 우리가 이해할 수 있는 내용으로 보냈겠지.
확실히, I'm sure that 우리를 속이려면, if they're trying to trick us, 우리가 이해할 수 있는 내용으로 보냈겠지. They would have sent it in some sort of contents that 우리가 이해할 수 있는, something that we can understand.
그러면 영조가 통신을 복구했다는 이야기인데
Then this means that 영조가 통신을 복구했다는 얘기인데, this means he restored the communications. 영조 did.
통신을 복구하는 방법을 찾았나 봐요.
I guess they found out a way to restore communication. 통신을 복구하는 방법을 찾았나 봐요.
마을 사람을 하나 붙잡아서 윽박질러서 알아냈다든지.
Get one village person. 마을 사람을 하나 붙잡아서 get one village person and 윽박질러서 알아냈다든지. Whether they forced them to give them the information how to do it, I'm guessing. Yeah. But new word. We're playing this game way longer than I thought we'd be playing it. Because they just keep talking. Speech, yeah, speech, like I said, speech will come with more speaking practice, but you can also get good at speech by just more exposure to the language. Like, you listen to, like, what is it? Hyunwoo actually had a really good method that he used to use, and I didn't do this because I didn't know of any at the time, but Hyunwoo listened to podcasts for English. And of course, he studied English at school for like 10 or so years, like every Korean. But just studying English at school doesn't mean you're going to speak it. For getting good at actually speaking it, he did lots of exposure to listening it. So podcasts. Having something on in the background while you're doing other things, like while you're studying, have on a Korean YouTuber, have on a Korean podcast. It might not seem like much in the beginning, but you listen to that all day. You listen to that hours every day, or for weeks or months. You're gonna learn. You're gonna get stuff out of that, and you even if you're not gonna be learning everything they say, because you'd have to study the words to know them, you're gonna get used to a lot of the expressions they use. And it turns out a lot of the expressions this person uses will also be the same expressions that the next person uses. So yeah, someone's videos all day long. No, it does. Like I said, it doesn't let you learn the words unless you already know them. But you might know a word, and then you see it, you get to hear how it's exactly used in Korean. Like you might know 그건 그렇고. You might hear it, you might kind of understand it, but then you hear it a million times and you're like, oh, I get exactly how it's used. Not just the literal meaning, but like when to use it. 역시, things like that. Like words that you might already know, but you don't know how they're used. You hear them a lot. And that's how you get good at it.
영조 오빠라면 충분히 그럴 것 같네요.
영조 오빠라면 충분히 그럴 것 같네요. I guess, yeah, if we're talking about 영조, then I'm sure he could easily do that. 충분히, enough, sufficiently.
그건 그렇다고 하고.
Okay, 그건 그렇다고 하고.
이
Okay,
문자의 내용이 뭘까?
so forget that now. 이 문자의 내용이 뭘까? What could be the contents of, what could be inside the meaning of this message? Text message.
승훈.
슬, 승훈, 슬, 영, 수아, 영조, 동혁, 수아, 담비, 슬, 세한. These are just names of them. 슬 is 이슬, 승훈, 슬슬, 수아, 영조, right?
아니 이게 대체 무슨 내용이야?
아니 이게 도대체 무슨 내용이야? What is this? What in the world are these contents?
제 이름 앞에 영은 오타일까요?
제 이름 앞에 영은 오타일까요? Why did they put 영는? But anyway, it would be pronounced as 영은, but I guess they wanted to write it as 영는. How about the zero that's in front of my name? Is that 오타? A typo?
그건 잘 모르겠어.
I don't really know.
일단 오타가 아니라고 생각해보자.
일단, first of all, let's just think it's not a typo.
일단 0, 이 숫자만 빼면 모두 우리 이름들만 이루어져 있네.
일단 0, first of all, for this zero, 이 숫자만, only this number, 빼면, if we get rid of just this number, 모두, all of it is 우리 이름들로만 이루어져 있네. It's composed of only our names.
모두의 이름이 한 번씩 다 있어요.
모두의 이름이 한 번씩 다 있어요. Everyone's names are here once at least.
슬이 이름이 가장 많고
There's the most 쓰리.
승훈이 이름이 가장
쓰리
적게 나와
이름이
있어.
가장 많고 승훈이 이름이 가장 적게 나와 있어. So 쓰리's name is in here the most and 승훈's name is in here the least.
그렇지만 이걸로는 도대체 무슨 내용인지.
그렇지만 이걸로는 도대체 무슨 내용인지. But still with this, how do we know what it is? Like I started a couple months ago, I started turning on in the background a Korean YouTuber because I like the sound of his voice. And I just have the videos on at maybe at least an hour a day or sometimes 2 hours a day. When I'm working, I'm like doing other stuff, like making my schedule, replying to emails or writing lessons. I have him in my ear, just kind of listening to him in the background. And in the beginning, you know, you don't get that much. Like, I understand if I'm watching, but if I have him in my ear, I wouldn't really get it. But now, if I listen to him, I'm like, oh yeah, I totally know what he's doing. Like, I can get what he's talking about, because you just get used to hearing the different things that they say, and they use them over and over and over again. So if someone else now says those same phrases, like in that same style, like, I get it. So yeah, I recommend everyone find a podcast or a YouTuber or something that you like to listen to who's native Korean, and just put it on in the background. I remember I used to have a Sherlock Holmes audio play that I got from some podcast, and I listened to it every single day to work. And when I first started listening to it, this was like 8 years ago. When I first started listening to it, I couldn't really get what they were talking about. I kind of got the gist of it, but then I listened to it every day going to and from work, and it was like maybe an hour in total or something like that. So I got to listen to it like at least once, almost fully through each time, every day. After a while, after like listening to like 10 times or so, I could like get most of it, because it turns out most of it were words I knew. I just didn't quite get the context for it. Running Man does count. Running Man does count. In fact, that's excellent. Variety shows are great because they give you real Korean. That's why podcasts are good, YouTubers are good, because they give you real Korean. Books will give you book Korean. Movies will give you movie Korean. Dramas will give you drama Korean. You know, you're watching a movie. People don't actually talk like that in real life. So, 그렇지만 이걸로는 도대체 무슨 내용인지. But we don't know what this even means.
문자를 보내서 물어볼까요?
Should we send a text message and ask?
쟤들이 저렇게 암호로 보내는데 우리가 물어본다고 대답해 줄까?
쟤들이 저렇게 암호로 보냈는데, they sent it like that, 암호, in like a code. 우리가 물어본다고. So let's say we ask them, 대답해 줄까? Are they going to answer? Like maybe they want to speak in code.
하긴 그렇네요.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm only going to go another 10 minutes, then we're going to stop.
분명히 의미가 있는 게 분명한데.
Radio dramas, you don't even need the scripts though. That's the thing. The idea, what I'm trying to tell you, is that you need so much input that it's not something that you can just, I mean, unless you have all the time in the world to read a script along with a video, sure, go ahead, that's even better. But just listening, nothing else. Not even watching it, not reading a script, not necessarily even thinking about what they're saying, just listening to it, having it on. I mean, of course, you have to be able to hear everything that they're saying, even if you don't understand. That's good. That's still helpful. Motivate Korean uploaded a video not long ago about listening too. I wonder what he says about it. I like that guy. Jeremy's nice. Check it out. Dang it. 분명히 의미가 있는 게 분명한데. I'm sure that this definitely has a meaning. I mean, women
진정하세요,
don't-
오빠.
Yeah, exactly. They don't go 오빠. They do, but what I mean is, like, the sentences will be so well put together that yes, it's all real Korean, but no one would actually speak that complicated. 진정하세요, 오빠. Calm down.
영조도 분명히 우리라면 이 내용을 이해할 거라고 생각하고 보낸 거잖아.
영조도, even 영조 also, 분명히, clearly, 우리라면, if it's us, then we should be able to understand it. 이 내용을 이해할 거라고 생각하고, 영조 thought, 생각하고 보낸 거잖아. So he thought that and sent it to us. So he's, of course, 영조 sent this to us thinking that we would understand it for sure.
영조가 만든 암호를 내가 못 풀다니.
To think that I can't, 내가 못 풀다니, I can't solve a code that 영조 made.
그게 화나는 거였어요?
Ah, that's why you were mad?
이런 문제는 이게 무슨 뜻일까라는 생각보다는
이런 문제는, for this kind of problem, 이게 무슨 뜻일까? Rather than thinking, 생각보다는, what could this mean?
무엇을 전하려고 했을까라는 접근을 해보세요.
무엇을 전하려고 했을까? What could they have been trying to tell us? 라는 접근을 해보세요. So try approaching it from what were they trying to tell us, and not what does this mean?
전하려고 하는 것.
전하려고 하는 거, what they were trying to tell us?
맞는 말이야.
You're right.
영조가 우리한테 전하려는 내용부터 생각해보자.
Let's think first from what Youngjo was trying to tell us.
자기들이 안전하다는 이야기?
자기들이 안전하다는 얘기? The fact that to say that they're safe?
그건 문자를 보낸 걸로 전할 수 있는 이야기 아닐까?
그건 문자를 보낸 걸로 전할 수 있는 얘기 아닐까요? Couldn't that just be something they could just send us in a text?
그러네요.
Yeah, you're right.
그러면 만날 장소?
그러면 만날 장소, then a place to meet?
만날
A place to meet?
잠깐만.
Hold on.
그러면 이거 이름이랑 숫자 개수가
그러면 이거 이름이랑 숫자 개수가 then the number of the numbers here with our names maybe
그렇지만 우리 이름만으로는 만날 장소를 정할 수는.
but 우리 이름만으로는 but just using our names 만날 장소 a place to meet 전할 수는 to think that could they really convey where a place to meet using just our names?
수아야. 우리 저번 학기 합숙 때 뭐 했지?
합숙 I think that'd be like reviewing the last time they did the classes. Oops. Oh, that's right. Hop. I read that. I misread that as haksu. Hop is together. Suk is live. Yeah. That's when you're staying together for like doing school training. Like you're studying all living together. 저번 학기 last semester. Hop together. Suk living. What did we do when we were living together for the last semester, doing like studying?
수신호 외우고 잠수 훈련하고.
We were 수신 호. I don't know 수신 호. Hand signals. 수 신호. Of course, I was thinking 수신 호, like something number. So 수 hand 신호. Signal. So hand signals. We were learning hand signals and doing training, holding our breath. It's because they're doing the diving club.
그래.
Yeah.
그때 수아 외우면서 우리가 정한 거 있잖아.
그래 그때 수화, literally 수 hand, 화, conversation like 통화, 전화, 수화. So sign language. 외우면서 we were memorizing sign language, and while doing that 우리가 정한 거 있잖아. And then we had that thing that we set up. We decided
저희 콜 넘버.
our call numbers.
맞다.
Oh, that's right.
이건 콜 넘버.
These are call numbers.
콜 넘버라고 해도 결국 숫자만 적혀 있잖아요.
call number라고 해도 if we're saying these are call numbers, 결국 in the end, ultimately these are just only numbers here.
하지만
But
숫자로만 위치를 말해줄 수 있잖아.
하지만 숫자로만 위치를 말해줄 수 있잖아. But you can say a location only with 숫자, only with numbers.
GPS 주소예요.
GPS address.
그래.
Yeah, GPS
주소야.
address.
나는 아까 숫자가 13개인 걸 보고 확신했어.
I was sure when I saw before 13 numbers before.
우리 콜 넘버는 나이 순으로 정했으니까
Since we set our call numbers in order of our age, 나이, 순 meaning order.
바꾼 숫자들을 우리가 아까 챙겨온 GPS 시계에 넣으면
If we put these changed numbers now into 우리가 아까 챙겨온 GPS 시계, the GPS watches that we got before, 넣으면 if we put them in there,
좋아. 여기서
yeah, the
멀자.
village is just burning. 좋아, all right, 여기서 멀지 않아. It's not that far from here.
그럼 GPS 주소가 맞았나 봐요.
그럼 GPS 주소가 맞았나 봐요. I guess the GPS address was right.
아까 책상에서 챙긴 지도 가지고 있지?
아까 책상에서 챙긴 지도 가지고 있지? You have the map that we got from the desk before, right?
네,
Yes,
여기
here it is.
있어요.
보자.
Let's see. Okay, right
아마
after
산
the scene
안쪽인
we'll
것
stop.
같은데.
보자, 아마 산 안쪽인 것 같은데. I think it's probably inside of the mountain region somewhere. 다 버렸나 봐. Yeah, now it's just gone. It's just it's all burned to the ground.
아마도 거기서 만나자는 이야기인 것 같아요.
Can you imagine the people in the village? They're like, "Where's Sungyu? Where is everyone?" Like, and then meanwhile inside this house, I'm like holding a notebook and studying Korean, and it's just all burning down. 아마도 거기서 maybe over there 만나자는 얘기인 것 같아. I think that they're saying let's meet there.
아까 말씀하신 통신국이 여기 이 산에 있나요?
Is the network's communication tower 여기 이 산에 있나요? Is that on this mountain from where the place you said before? Now he's talking to Sungyu.
네, 보건소 뒤편에 있는 산에 있습니다.
Yes, it's on the mountain that's 뒤편 behind this health center.
영주가 거기서 통신을 복구한 다음 바로 문자를 보낸 건가?
영조가 거기서 통신을 복구한 다음, after 영조 restored the communications there, then after 바로 right away 문자를 보낸 건가? Then he just sent a text message right away after that.
그러면 어서 여기 이 지점으로 가봐요.
Let's hurry up and go to this destination right away.
그래,
Okay,
어서 챙겨서 출발하자.
let's get this together and 출발하자 and depart.
저기
Hey,
저희가 탈출하기 전까지는 그렇게 계시길 부탁드리겠습니다.
저희가 탈출하기 전까지는 until we've escaped 그렇게 계시길 부탁드리겠습니다. I'll ask for you to just stay there.
어쩔 수 없군요.
He's just gonna stay in the chair. I mean, someone else will come. He's not alone in this health center. Okay, I guess nothing they can do about it.
마을 사람들에겐 저희가 여기 꼬마애를 인질로 잡고 협박했다고 말하세요.
Tell the village people. 말하세요 that 저희가 여기 꼬마애를 인질로 잡고 that we have this girl 현이 hostage and 협박했다고 말하세요. And that we 협박. We you have to do it. Coerced? No. You know what I mean. I can't think of the word in English. I can't think of the word at all. Threaten. Yeah.
그런데 이 무전기를 어떻게 하지?
What do we do about this radio?
마침 배터리가 다 떨어져서 꺼졌습니다.
It's the battery's completely gone and 꺼졌습니다. I turned off.
제가 자주 충전하는 걸 잊어서 괜찮을 거라고 생각해요.
제가 자주 충전하는 걸 잊어서 I keep forgetting to charge it. 괜찮을 거라고 생각해. I think it'll be okay.
정말이네요.
You're right.
여기에 충전기는 없나요?
Is there no charger? 충전기는 없나요? Here?
네. 무전기는 모두 두 번째 선착장에서 충전을 해서 쓰기 때문에
Because we charge the radios, all of them 모두 두 번째 선착장 at the second pier 충전을 해서 쓰기 때문에 because we charge them there.
충전기는 없습니다.
There is no charger.
확실히 이 방에서 충전기 같은 거 못 봤어요.
I'm sure, yeah, you're right. I mean, I didn't see. 확실히 means certainly, but it's more used like as you're right. That sort of meaning. 확실히 이 방에서는 충전기 같은 건 못 봤어요. I'm sure I didn't see any sort of charger, anything like a charger here.
우린 이제 갈 거야.
Okay, he's talking to the little girl. We're gonna go now.
너도 여기 있는 아저씨랑 여기에 조용히 있어야 해.
너도 you also 여기 있는 아저씨랑 with the guy here 여기에 조용히 있어야 해. You have to stay here quietly with this guy.
그럼 수아야, 어서 출발하자.
All right, Sua, let's hurry up and leave.
네, 어서 가.
그리고
And
뭐죠?
what?
저희
Be careful of
아버지를
my father.
조심하세요. 나이가 드셨어도
Even though he's
정말
old.
철두철미하신 분입니다.
철두철미하신 분입니다. He's a really thorough guy, even though he's old.
저희 아버지만이 이 섬 전체를 돌아갈 수 있게 만드는 사람입니다.
저희 아버지만이 이 섬 전체를 돌아갈 수 있게 만드는 사람입니다. His voice changed so much talking to the girl. Yeah. Only my father is the only person who can turn this island back to turn this whole island back? 섬 전체, the whole island 돌아가다. 돌아갈 수 있게 만드는 사람. 돌아갈 수 있게. I guess he's the only one who can turn this island back? I'm not quite. Hold on, let me check that up. Unless it's a different meaning I'm thinking. I guess turn this island back to the way it used to be. I'm just guessing, but I'll look it up later. You can ask me if you want later and I can tell you what the meaning is tonight.
그래서 마을 사람들도 무서워하고 배신할 생각조차 하지 않습니다.
I guess he's meaning like do everything in the island, control it. But anyway, 그래서 마을 사람들도 so also the village people 무서워하고 are afraid of him and 배신할 생각조차 하지 않습니다. They don't even think about betraying him.
정말 조심하세요.
Be really careful. I wish I could get this. I'm sure if I read it later. 이 섬 전체를 돌아갈 수 있게 만드는 사람입니다. Must be an expression. Anyway, I'll look it up.
아직 아저씨 아닌데
What?
그렇지, 현아.
Ah, I guess we called him an ajoshi before. Ah, that's right. Because we told Hyuna, hey, you're gonna see, here we go. 너도 여기 있는 아저씨랑 여기에 조용히 있어야 해. You have to stay here quietly with this guy. But now he's replying, I'm not an ajoshi, right? Like, ajoshi would be like someone who typically a married man or someone who's old enough to be definitely married. He's like, I'm not that old. 그렇지, 현아, right? Okay, this is all we're going for today. This is long. This path's so long.
아직 아무도 문자에 답장이 없어요.
Okay, we'll save here. And we'll go back to the main menu. I want to keep playing, but I think that's enough for today because I got some stuff to do tonight. Thank you everyone for coming. And I will see you again, let's see, maybe Saturday night. If not Saturday, depending on how things go. If not Saturday, then definitely Monday. So yeah, take care. There are 4 30-minute videos with this path. Well, I'm sure it's, if I were not translating everything, maybe it would be 30 minutes. I don't know. I don't even know if we're going to get off the island with this path. I guess we will, though. I don't know if this is a really good ending or just a so-so ending. So I guess we'll find out. Not tomorrow. Today's Thursday. So maybe Saturday. If not, then Monday. See you guys.